Oh boy. Yeah, Quack's gonna be here in like, I don't know, an hour or something.
Quack saw ribs.
So I believe we're live now. So I made a slight change to the background music. I wanted something that was more copyright friendly. I mean, I haven't had copyright problems with the last background music, but I know for a fact that I won't have copyright problems with this shit. So yeah, what all do we got going on? Let's see here. I had problems with someone making an attempt on my life a few weeks ago.
Uh,
An ambitious one too.
Honestly, it's like some Kill Bill shit.
Unfortunately, they're gonna have to do better than that. Would have got away for it. Would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those fucking pesky surveillance cameras. um, let's see. We've had COVID problems at work. That's putting it really fucking lightly too. Oh, y'all are probably wondering, like, well, we don't have anybody tuned in on the stream yet, but for those listening or watching in the future, you're probably wondering something about why I'm laughing about this, and that will show itself in due time. Let me turn that fucking music down a little bit because it makes a rather rough transition to fucking repeating itself. Because I just have it on repeat. Maybe I should find one of those YouTube videos that's like, 8 hours straight of this song. I don't know. I do have to make an announcement for for this stream because most people don't know we're on YouTube. All right, so and I had a hell of a day, by the way. Can I tell you something? It is unnecessarily difficult to get a COVID test.
yeah.
That turned into an all-day ordeal for me.
Did you at least get the test?
I did.
I'd say it's kind of funny because here I could literally go to my local CVS and they do it for free.
Through a feat of sheer determination and will, I got it. But were I lesser of a person, I would not have gotten it.
And the results are?
To be determined.
It wasn't a rapid test?
No. Nope. I went to the fucking health department and got the real McCoy. They shoved a swab like 8 inches down my fucking throat.
You loved it, you dirty bitch.
It hit my gag reflex instantly, and I like spit all over the poor lady's face. I felt so bad. Although, and she was really cool about it, probably because she has people doing it all the time. Like, I doubt I'm the first. But, like, she just, like, all the way down there and, like, twists it around on the inside of your fucking tonsil.
That chick has people spit in her mouth on the weekend for fun. Don't feel bad.
I just, like, coughed all over her face, dude.
and she basked in the glory of it.
But it was okay. It was an all-day evolution. Like, you should be able to just go anywhere and get it. So there's like this 24/7 urgent care clinic that's like right up the road from where I live. And they have this big fucking fancy neon sign out front that's like free COVID, or that's like COVID testing 24/7. I'm like, all right, well, I'll think about going there. On the way there, there's the DMV. So I go to the fucking DMV. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get to where I can legally ride my motorcycle, because I've been illegally riding it the whole time I've owned it. 4 years. I know that I've been riding it illegally, but it was recently that I found out what the consequences of that actually are. So I got a cop buddy who was like giving me shit. And like, he's just one of the dudes I ride motorcycles with every now and again. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, I'm seeing Discord, like, the voice connected thing doing some weird shit. So I wanted to verificate. So I was hanging out. We're out riding motorcycles one day, and he rolls up and he's like, "Hey man, you know your tags are like 3 years expired, right?" And I was like, "Well, they're issuing out the same color sticker again." So I was, thinking I could just get away with it. Well, he was perceptive enough to see it. He's a state trooper though. So he's like, "Hey man, riding without a motorcycle license is like a $1,200 fine, right?" I'm like, "Wait, what? $1,200? The fuck?" Like, yeah. I went and looked it up, and apparently it is. So, I guess it's time to get that fixed.
Yep.
Because I don't want to get hit with that fine. So, that really, I was like, well, so I went to the DMV because it's on the way to the motorcycle place. I mean, the COVID place. And, God, the lady was so fucking nasty with me. Now, it's small town Kansas. So, in this town right now, we have only one person that works in the DMV. And
That's fucking terrible.
so you go and you take a number out of the fucking. Yeah, all right. You remember the days of, like, back in the day, like, you go into Winn-Dixie and they'd have those little coupon dispensers, like, in the aisles?
Yeah.
You go there and it's one of these things, except it has, like, pieces of paper with numbers on them. So she'll go and, push a button, and you could see a LED screen on the wall that says what number they're serving. And I'm the next one in line when I get my number. So I'm thinking, I'm lucky. Like, here we go. This shit's fucking good. Good day right here, I walk in there. I hand her my fucking driver's license. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to get my motorcycle permit. Can I take the test today? She looks at me and she's like, no. Like, what do you mean?
Why?
She's like, well, you need another proof of address. I'm like, I have a driver's license. She's like, yeah, well, you need another proof of address. Like, wasn't I in here like a month ago and I had to show you like 3 proofs of address to get this? Now, mind you, I have the Gold Star driver's license. Like, I got the bougie one. And she's like, yeah, well, I need another proof of address. You know, a utility bill or, you know, a bank statement or something. I'm like, yeah, lady, I know what a proof of address is. Like, this isn't good enough? No. Jeez, well, fuck. Whatever. Thanks for nothing, I guess. I left.
Right.
So I go to the fucking the clinic. Walk in there and they have me put all of my personal information in this fucking computer. And they want my insurance information. And I'm like, what is my insurance information necessary for? I'm not here to have my prostate examined or anything like that. Like, fucking, I'm just trying to get a COVID test. Oh, well, it's $135 just for the office visit.
Wow.
And I'm like, an office visit isn't necessary. Just whatever the fuck you do for the COVID test. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I stopped paying attention to the COVID shit a long time ago. So with that, it's like, she's like, yeah, well, you need to get your insurance information in there. Well, okay, I have my VA card, but I don't have my insurance card with me because that's not something I carry on a day-to-day basis. Like, I leave it in my vehicle, which I didn't have with me because the vehicle that is currently operational right now, I can't legally fucking drive. And the last fucking thing I need to do is to go right into the building that houses the police department, the sheriff department, the courthouse, and the fucking DMV and go in there and be like, yeah, I'm driving a motorcycle without a license and I'm here for my permit. Because let me tell you, last time how that fucking went for me. I went there to fucking pay a ticket for driving without insurance, and I was on a suspended license, and the fuckers ran my tag, and they waited for me right outside. Like, they waited for me to get in my car, watched me drive a block down the road, and fucking pulled my ass over. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, they do Grammy shit like that.
They really, really do.
They legit did that shit to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm. You know what? It's about a mile for me to walk there. I'm not fucking falling for it this time. So
a mile ain't shit.
No, it's really not. I mean, it takes about a half hour, or 15 minutes, or whatever to get there. Sometimes even longer if I get stuck waiting behind a fucking train. But yeah, I mean, it's not a terrible walk, and the weather wasn't terrible either. It's just that I'm not gonna drive there with a vehicle I can't legally operate and get fucking hemmed up for it when I'm within what at least the three of us would consider to be walking distance.
Right.
So yeah, you know, brisk little walk down there, and so I put my information into their little fuck you computer system, and they're like, oh yeah, we can't take your VA ID. You need to call them, and you need to get this little QPIC authorization thing. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I called them. And the VA's like, yeah, we're not doing that. Well, why the fuck not? Because you could just drive here and get your test done here. All right, whatever. Fuck it. Thanks for nothing.
Right.
So, and you'll come to find that was a reoccurring fucking theme today. So, I go and I have lunch with my friend. And And then I go back to my house. I grab my proof of address. I take my ass back to the fucking city building. And now I see that there's like fucking 8 people ahead of me at this DMV thing. So, like, alright, whatever. I take my number and I wait. Like, how bad could it possibly be? Well, I have always said don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Y'all have heard me say this a lot. And I fucked up today because I asked that question. So, I'm like, all right, well, while I'm here, let me go because my tags are expired by 3 years. I mean, that's glaring fucking probable cause if somebody runs my tag.
I mean, right.
And that's long ago enough that you're not going to get a warning for it. And they're not going to, like, ignore it. So, I go and I get my my registration done at the treasurer's office. I had enough time to get my work done at the treasurer's office, come back out, and still fucking have 4 people waiting on me. Now, this was after waiting in line at the treasurer's office and spending like 15 minutes playing phone tag with my insurance company to get them to email me a proof of insurance. So that so that the lady at the treasurer's office would help me. Now, mind you, she is... The treasury lady is truly a fucking saint. Like, if there weren't COVID restrictions in place, I could reach over the fucking counter and give her a hug. Because with all the late fees and everything, I was looking at like $180.
That's not too bad.
No, but what makes it even better is I could sign a little piece of fucking paperwork and now it's magically $60.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I could reach around the counter and hug her.
Right.
She made my day with that shit. So I go and I wait in the line at the DMV for like an hour and a half. Just to get into the driver's license people. Now, there were 2 other people that were there with me this morning that the lovely lady at the DMV told to fuck off and come back with some other random shit. And it's kind of at the point that people are walking in and they're seeing the amount of people that are waiting for the DMV and they are noping the fuck out. And the sheriff deputy that is there, he's just like, yeah, you might have better luck if you come back tomorrow, like at 8 or whatever. So, yeah. I go and I finally get in. And this lady has like the worst fucking attitude with me. Whereas the lady in the treasury is such a lovely, nice person. I walk in there, and she's like, hey, you gotta be nice to me this time? I was sitting there like, well, I wasn't really mean to you. And she's like, yeah, you were really rude last time. I was like, you haven't seen me be rude. Believe me. It's like, okay.
I told her, I'd have looked at her dead in her face and been like, bitch, you gonna do your job?
And then I was like, all right, fine. I'll be nice to you this time. Whatever. Can you get me my stuff this time? She's like, all right. I sit down. And I hand her my freaking... I hand her my registration paperwork that I just got. And she's like, you just went down the hall and got this. I was like, yeah, I did. I had a different proof of address, but I was trying to see if she'd give me any shit. I was like, yeah, I did go down the hall and get that. You said you wanted another proof of address that was an official document. This is pretty official. And she's like, yeah, but you just got that today. I was like, is there any statutory thing that says the date really makes a difference? It's not like it's dated for tomorrow. And then it was going back and forth. She wasn't going to accept this document. So I pulled my water bill out of my pocket. And I handed that to her. And I was like, yeah, well, you can't complain about the date on this.
Right.
And she looked and she like rolled her eyes. I'm like, yeah, you're not telling me no this time.
Right.
I'm like, I have 2 proofs of address here. One of them being very, very official. The other one being directly from the city. And then,
for real,
and her
attitude. That's my name.
So so she gives me the motorcycle test and she charges me the little $15 or whatever. And there was another lady just kind of sitting in there waiting to be helped.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go in there and I take my motorcycle test. And I failed it by 2 questions. 2 fucking questions. I was like, damn. So she hands me the answer sheet back that's all graded, and she hands me the test, and she's like, yeah, how about you just go back in the room and review this a little bit and come back and take this test tomorrow. And she was really fucking happy and cheerful, and like her attitude changed in the time I was in there taking the test. I don't know what happened. But
what happened?
It was like I was talking to a completely different lady. So she goes and is like, all right, well, that's fine. I'll take the test tomorrow and pay another $15, I guess. And I was like, well, can I, like, get a motorcycle handbook? And the lady that was waiting on her to, like, do stuff, she was still in there for whatever reason. She actually paid for my handbook for me.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, you don't have to do that. And she's like, it's only like $2. I was like, yeah, I could just as easily swipe my debit card. And she's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, all right, cool. So I thanked her and I left. So it's like, all right, I'm going to put these updated registration things on my motorcycle so that I'm no longer probable cause on wheels.
Right.
And then I'm going to drive down to the VA because they say I can get COVID testing there.
So you didn't get tested.
So I'm getting to that. So I go to the fucking VA and like, yeah, I need to get COVID tested. Like, are you feeling symptomatic? No. Were you in contact with somebody who tested positive with COVID? Yeah. What, do you think I'm coming down here and taking this test just because I want to do it? Well,
I mean, that sounds legit to me.
I'm sorry, but we can't help you. Well, what do you mean? I mean, I get that you don't want to help me because I'm already used to being told no by the VA, but what's the reason this time? Well, we don't give tests to people who aren't symptomatic. I'm like, oh, so you're telling me that the asymptomatic people who are going around spreading it without knowing it, like, don't matter? Like, I'm not a virologist and I don't know shit about disease, but there's something in my gut that tells me that that's not necessarily the way you want to go about it. I don't know, just a hunch.
That's fair.
So They're like, nope, you have to go to this other place that is, oh, by the way, on the complete opposite fucking side of town to go get tested. But the health department is doing the testing, and they'll do it for free. Like, you guys are touting these free tests like that's something. I wasn't aware that people were paying for COVID tests. I wasn't aware that was a thing. You know, like vaccines. To my knowledge, at least, people are not paying for them. I would not know because I'm not vaccinated. But to my knowledge, people aren't paying for them. And I'm seeing signs everywhere that says free vaccine.
Right.
I don't have an excuse not to get the vaccine other than I don't trust it because the fucking government wants me to do it. And that like that's the biggest reason why I'm not vaccinated. Because I'm like, well, okay, the vaccine is free. It's in the best interest of public health, and you know, it's going to save a lot of lives. But you know, insulin shots save a lot of lives, and you know, Narcan shots save a lot of lives, and those aren't free.
Narcan is, at least here.
It's not here.
No, Narcan's not free. I mean, you could take a class and they'll give you one, but like that class costs $20.
It's a lot cheap. It's a lot.
If they give you any prescription that has opioids, like, and I'm talking about like, if they prescribe you one perk 5 at the fucking ER, they give you Narcan. They don't fuck around.
Well, the thing with that.
What do you mean they give you Narcan?
Literally no bullshit. If you get prescribed any kind of opioids whatsoever, when you go to pick up your opioids from the pharmacy, they give you Narcan.
You can't you can't have somebody ending up with an opioid addiction because the pharmacy. Not giving somebody Narcan but prescribing them with opioids would not be ethical.
But you're not gonna become a fucking pill junkie from one perk 5, you know?
No, you're not. Usually. I mean, I've taken Percocets and not like felt like I absolutely had to do more. Like, you know,
yeah,
I'm like
I don't have that problem.
I'm like, you know, that's well, I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to do more. I'm saying that I've never felt like I absolutely had to. I've never felt like, oh God, I have to have this next hit right now. I've never dealt with that struggle.
Well, it's different because what's the longest string of days you've done opioids for?
90 days.
How many pills a day?
3.
5 milligram or 10?
I don't remember. It was Oxycontin.
Yeah, statistically, at the end of that 90 days, you probably should have been addicted.
I should have been, and I don't know. Maybe I was, but it wasn't strong enough that I went out there like, oh, I got to figure out a way to get more. I was just, oh, fuck, I'm out. Well, this sucks. Oh, well. Like, yeah, it'd be nice. Like, I don't sit here and be like, you know, I'll never have another Oxy again. Like, sure, an Oxy'd be nice. But I don't feel like I gotta have it like right now. You know? And that's the same way with fucking booze. Like, I can get fucking completely trashed, but then not really feel obligated to. Like, I just do it because I want to, you know? Like, I don't feel a compulsion to just have another drink. Unless I'm just like, well, I'm planning on getting drunk. And if
I'm the same way. I sit down and I go, you know what? I'm getting fucked up tonight, and that's what I do.
Yeah, but you don't well, I can't speak for you. I don't get up the next day feeling like I have to get fucked up again. And
yeah, no, I usually wake up the next day feeling like, man, I'm never getting fucked up ever again.
I have known people who were addicts, and I've known people who have suffered through that problem. So I'm not sitting here saying it doesn't exist. I just haven't experienced it. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe in a stubborn person and having a strong will, or I don't know. Maybe it's a genetic thing where I have a heightened tolerance or a heightened immunity or whatever to that addiction. I don't know how that shit works. I do have some interesting genetics, though, when it comes to, like, immunities and shit. Everybody in my family is immune to hepatitis B.
That's lucky.
So, like, I can't catch it. Which, I guess I'll take what luck I can get, because usually I don't have luck. So, alright, so I fuck off and go to the other side of town, and the health department is not having the COVID vaccines in their official, like, building. They've rented out, like, a cabin at the fucking Sedgwick County Park. So they have this whole COVID testing place in a cabin that you'd rent out for, like, a birthday party. And so I go in there, and they're like, all right, they take my information. They're like, all right, well, you have two choices. You have the oral swab or you got the nasal swab. And
My homie said, "Gag me, daddy."
And I was like, well, I had given it some serious consideration. And I was like, I don't really do too well with things going up my nose. And if something,
I do.
And if something goes up my nose and it really hurts, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. And
I usually go, ooh, that was fire.
And nobody wants to see what happens when I lose my fucking mind. So, in the interest of public health, like I was like, well, what's the fucking, like, is there a difference in accuracy, or is there is there anything I should know? Oh, no, they have the exact same chances of accuracy. It just more comes down to what you want to do. I'm like, well, like when they said an oral swab, I thought they were talking about, like, getting some saliva out of the inside of my cheek or something, So I'm like, well, that sounds like it sucks a lot less than having somebody touch your fucking brain with a Q-tip.
Right.
So I opted for that. And then I waited there for like 20 minutes. And I bitched at somebody about social distancing, which is something I would almost never do. But I was very mindful of the fact that I was in a COVID testing zone. Which means if I don't have COVID, there is a very real possibility that I could catch it from somebody else who is there to get tested.
You're goddamn right.
So this is one situation where I was masked up, because if I do have it, I don't want to give it to somebody else unknowingly. So I'm like, well, okay, I'll fucking play the game this time. Like, I don't agree with it all the time, but this particular time it makes fucking sense to. So I'm going to do it. And I look at this person and his 3 kids, and I'm like, look, you can maintain your 6 feet. Like, I don't want you here. Like, stand back. And he looked
at home telling his wife about the dick he had to deal with today.
He looked at me like I was crazy, or like he was gonna fucking pull the race card on me, because it was this old white guy with 2 black kids, which I wasn't thinking about at the time, but I could see, like, I don't know. I just looked at him and I'm like, you and your kids can stay 6 feet back from me. I don't want you anywhere near me. So I don't know what was going on through his head, but that's another possibility being in 2021. Personally, I don't give a fuck, but I don't want to, like, catch anything because I was doing what I felt was the right fucking thing in getting tested. I don't want to become
makes sense.
I don't want to become a victim of my own fucking morality. Now, why? Here's the big fucking question. Why the fuck would I go on this big of a fucking journey to go get tested? Well, I was exposed to somebody who tested positive earlier this week for COVID-19. He was symptomatic all last week. We've been in very close quarters to each other. And we work together and all that jazz. Because, working on a tower, on one hand, it's the ultimate social distancing job because you social distance yourself at a minimum of like 100 feet from everybody else on the ground. But you still have that one guy that you're climbing up there with. And let me tell you something. It is impossible to maintain a distance of 6 feet on top of a fucking tower. And climbing a tower is a very physically demanding activity. And let me tell you, none of us are wearing masks when we do it. So, now, guy tests positive for COVID in an area where we all work pretty close to each other. What do you think happens? Or what would happen where you work?
Everybody would be told to go get tested. Whoever tests positive would be told to stay home for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you'd stop fucking everything to do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they would literally, like where I work, they would probably make us leave on the spot to go get tested.
Fair enough. What about you, Taco? Although Taco's been known for working in notoriously shitty places.
Well, right. So it all depends.
Well, we were told business as usual. Symptomatic guy goes and gets tests. He tests positive. Business as usual. Not only are we not told to drop everything and take the test, we're encouraged not to take the test.
Sounds like it was more than just encouraged.
Yeah, it was implied that we should not take the test. In fact, I was told directly not to take the test. Don't get tested. Don't worry about it. Don't fucking get worried about it. I've been working with this motherfucker all week. What do you mean don't be worried about it? Like, yeah, I'm not worried about myself having fucking COVID. Like, I'm worried about my friend's kid fucking catching it from me. Shit like that. I don't give a fuck about my own COVID. Like, whatever. I'll be sick for a little bit. Who gives a shit? Like, I don't have any fucking family. I don't even have a fucking wife here anymore. And I'll get into that in a minute, too. So, like, I am in this big-ass fucking palace of a house by myself. And if I have to quarantine, that's fine. I've got plenty of room to stretch my legs. I'm not worried about it. Now, while I may not take COVID regulations, I might not believe the same that everybody else does, where they're like, oh, you got to wear masks at all times. Everybody better get vaccinated and do this and do that and do this and do that. No, I believe a lot of that shit should be a matter of personal choice. And I will continue to believe this even if I catch it. And I'll continue to believe this even if I end up on a fucking ventilator. But at the same time, I'm not going to be here making dumb choices. I will go with, masking up and all that bullshit where it makes sense to.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to do it all the time for the sake of doing it.
I don't know.
And there's so much conflicting information about the vaccines and about COVID that it's fucking hard to trust anything you see anymore. Like, you don't fucking know. Nobody fucking knows. I mean, there's a bunch of people who act like they know. And there's a bunch of people who've read facts or things that seem like facts from websites, but the people who write this shit don't know.
Right.
So, and there's like the statistics of, all these people died from COVID. But a lot of fucking deaths were, misrepresented and misreported. So we don't fucking know that either. And there's a monetary interest in keeping the whole COVID train going. And there's a government interest in keeping the whole COVID train going. So it makes it fucking hard to trust anything. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. At this point, I'm not trusting what I see on the news. I'm not trusting what I see on the government websites. I'm not trusting what fucking 2.0 says. I'm not trusting what Taco says. I'm going with what I see with my own fucking 2 eyes at this point. Because that's all I fucking got. Because I don't know where Taco's getting his facts. I don't know where 2.0 is getting his facts. And I don't know where the people that they're getting their facts from, I don't know where the fuck they're getting their facts.
Our facts.
It's like, it's impossible. Like, at this point, it's nearly impossible to validate this shit in a way that I will trust. And there's so many fucking political interests in this trying to push shit down your throat. So, I don't know. I just go with what fucking, with what makes sense. And that's kind of where I stand with the whole COVID thing. Now, to be told, like, that guy goes home and he can't work for the next 2 weeks. Oh, and that's without pay. But the rest of us, business is normal. That kind of fucking pissed me off a little bit because I'm like, if this is as much of a public health thing as people say it is, then the company I work for should be fucking taking it more seriously because if nothing else, it looks bad for a company to just ignore the shit. Like, it looks bad. Even if they think that it's not a real fucking thing, it sends off an image that they have a blatant fucking disregard for the health care of the people working for them and their families. And that's what fucking pisses me off. It's not, the fact that I could potentially have COVID. It's not fucking, it's their fucking blatant disregard for something that they say is a fucking safety concern. That doesn't fucking add up to me. I brought it up with management today. And I told them whether they like it or not, I'm getting fucking tested.
Right.
My ass got sent home.
Why?
For arguing with them over this. Go home and clock out. All right. I mean, I really didn't want to come to work today anyways, so whatever. I call him today. Hey, or am I coming in tomorrow? Or are we doing anything tomorrow? No, don't worry about it. We're still waiting to hear back from HR. Oh, okay. Whatever. So yeah, that's kind of been that, and a bunch of people in the fucking office have been mad about it too. I'm not the fucking only one who's mad.
Right.
But I'm telling you right now, if they fire me, I'm fucking dragging them all down with me. I will be reporting that shit to the CDC. Like, make no mistake.
Right.
I will be reporting that shit to OSHA. And, I don't know, maybe a local news outlet. Fucking anybody else who will listen to me.
Right.
And then they'll go and they'll try to deny it, but that won't fucking change anything. Because, you know, companies deny shit all the time, and people don't fucking believe them.
I mean, for real.
And you know, this is not something that, like, you know, like, whether they're fucking telling the truth or not, they fucking wouldn't believe it, you know? Because of that fucking healthy distrust in, you know, corporate stuff.
Right.
God bless America. Where the corporations have fucked us over so hard we can't trust any goddamn thing they say. So we don't even believe them when they are telling the truth or when they're not.
Right.
Whatever the fuck is the most convenient for them, that's what we think is going on. So, as far as COVID goes, though, I am not symptomatic. Like, yeah, you hear me coughing, but you hear me coughing every fucking live stream. And the reason for that is because I had fucking pneumonia in the past and a bad upper respiratory infection.
Well, the point behind it is if you think you might have it and you've been exposed to it for more than a week and dude tested positive, 9 times out of 10, you probably got it.
I probably do. But at this point, I'm not noticing it.
So let's be real. You probably definitely got it.
I'm not sure. Jury's out on that. We'll know at about noon tomorrow. I don't care either way. But if I do have it, they're fucking paying me for my time off. I will be clocking in at 8 and clocking out at 4 every day while in quarantine. Best believe. Hallelujah. Got to believe. Now, let's assume that I don't get fired. If I do have to quarantine, the timing is perfect. Usually I don't have good luck when it comes to things like that, but this time I do. So, if I have to quarantine for the next 2 weeks, that puts me all the way through to the 1st, right?
Close.
I will be
like literally 2 weeks from today is the 1st.
I will be rolling into PTO on the 1st. Where I've requested like 10 days of PTO. So, if that goes down that way, I'll be taking like a month off. and if that ends up being the case, y'all are gonna see me doing a lot more streaming.
Well,
because
I mean, with
it's not,
time on your hands.
yeah, I'm not gonna have fuck all else to do. I got a lot of games to catch up on, and I've not been streaming everything that I do, but I have been in a mad frenzy to fucking catch up with some of the games that I have told people I would play and haven't. Like my Mass Effect replay through and The Witcher 3. I told a good friend who's a Witcher fan that I would fucking beat a certain thing in The Witcher 3, and I haven't done it yet, so I've been scrambling to do that. And then Bryce bought me fucking... what's that game? No Man's Sky, so I've been trying to play that some. Well, I've been trying to stream that some, because I have a thing where I want to, like, I don't know, stream the games people buy me, because, you know, I'm cool like that.
There's only one game and one game I care about at all.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Yeah, when that comes out, I'll be streaming it. Maybe. Probably.
Well, if you're interested, we can do a co-stream because I will be streaming it as well.
Hey, that sounds good. Usually I don't collaborate with streamers. But hey, you're actually somebody who won't fucking flake on me.
I'm gonna get the damn game too.
Okay.
Dude, I played the beta all weekend. It's good.
Then we can all do it. Now, I have purchased some new games that I will be streaming for you guys, though. So I want y'all to, like, you know, get the hype train going. I started a little bit last night. I bought Police Simulator.
Yeah, I saw that.
I know the police content's pretty popular with some people, so I bought that. In the interest of balancing things out, I also bought Drug Dealer Simulator.
I was just getting ready to say, when you stream Police Simulator, I can play Drug Dealer Simulator. It'd be great.
I also bought Doom Eternal. So
I only have the last mission on Nightmare to complete for that game.
I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to stream it on Nightmare. I'm going to stream it on an easier difficulty at first. I don't know if I'm going to go to Nightmare or not for this one.
What, you're not ready for the level of rage that it'll induce or something? Come on.
No, it's not that. It's that I don't fucking care enough about the game to get good enough at it to fucking play Nightmare.
Do what I did. Just jump straight into the deep end.
Like, I want to play it to experience it, and then beyond that, it's whatever. Like, it's Doom Eternal is not a game that I'm taking seriously, and that's why I was waiting for it to be on sale. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Doom, and I am an OG Doom player. I've been playing Doom since before most of you knew what the fuck Doom was. Actually, Doom 2 was the first game that I ever beat on the hardest difficulty level. I did that when I was like 8. That being said, I'm not that devoted to the franchise anymore. Like, I feel obligated to play it because I played every other Doom, but I don't feel obligated to, like, get super fucking good at it. Like, once I play it, unless it's something that, like, really fucking hooks me, I'm probably done with it after I get done with my playthrough. And part of that stems from the fact that I have so many fucking things that I want to stream for you guys that I can't just stay stuck to that one game for forever. Like, this is a variety content fucking streaming thing. So, and the reason kind of why I went over from being a solely Grand Theft Auto person to doing variety content is so that I can do stuff whenever the fuck I want to do it, you know?
That's always been my philosophy. I play what I want to play whenever the fuck I want to play it.
I got kind of tired of being beholden to a specific game, and I lost quite a bit of my audience because of that, but oh well. Like,
what are you talking, GTA?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my audience has kind of fizzled out since I've stopped playing that. But oh well. Like, honestly, I'm not really here for numbers. I'm not. At one point I was chasing numbers. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't really care that much. I'm just getting on here because I like gaming. That's it. That's all there is to it. And I'll pretty much do whatever I want whenever I want. But lately my gaming has been pretty casual because I just don't fucking have time to dedicate to doing shit like hardcore. I just don't. If I was back in a state where I could fucking game for 8 hours a day like I was, then yeah, I could take time to get really fucking good at Doom Eternal. And who knows? because of how I am on PC, I might pick it up and be really good at it. Like No Man's Sky. I'm pretty, like, my brother was telling me that fucking, he's like, oh yeah, the first half hour of your time is just going to be spent dying and getting mad at the game. Now, I've been close to dying on my No Man's Sky streams, but I have not yet died. And I have not played the game at all off stream. So everything you see is like right off the top me playing it. And I haven't even watched any YouTube videos on it. Like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm getting into or what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just doing shit and learning as I go. But I haven't died yet. I will, but I haven't yet. On the other notion, I have a long list of games that I just haven't fucking played that I really need to, and I really need to stream some for you guys. And I have stuff that I have to finish that I haven't fucking finished. So that's why I can't stay. Like, here's a list. Fuck. COVID. Here's a list of shit that I have to do, okay? BioShock 2. I haven't fucking done that at all. I haven't even touched it yet. And I bought it just to stream for you guys. I bought that like 2 summer sales ago and still haven't been able to fucking do it. I've been wanting to stream more Fallout for you guys. I'm just going through my game list. I've been thinking about picking up Rust again, potentially. Doing that for a little bit. I've been meaning to stream the OG Ghost Recon for you. Although I did try playing it. I've played it off stream. I am fucking trash at that game. I used to be really good at it back on the original Xbox days. But now, when I go to play that game again, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I couldn't even pass the first mission. I got all my fucking people killed, and then I died. I don't know what I'm doing. Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 is something I've been wanting to do for you guys. Borderlands 3. I bought that during the last summer sale. I still haven't touched it. I have all the DLC and everything. I haven't done it. Borderlands
what?
3. Borderlands 2, I still have to finish. Borderlands the pre-sequel, I still have to finish. I started streaming those for you guys and I never fucking finished them. I OCD shinied over to something else. I don't fucking remember what it was, but haven't done it. I've been meaning to play Darkstone for you guys. Dead Island.
That island is my shit. Who do you voodoo, bitch?
I haven't played it at all.
That's a great game.
I've been potentially thinking about doing a 7 Days to Die thing. I don't want to do it for long. Like maybe, I don't know, like a week or something.
Yeah, if I were you, I wouldn't even open that can of worms, man. Because in a week, you would have not gone anywhere.
Like, just see what it's about. And that's pretty much the extent of it. Because honestly, like, I've looked at fucking gameplay of that. There are some things of that game that seem pretty cool, but for the most part, I'm just not interested in it. The Elder Scrolls Online. I've been wanting to open that can of worms for you guys. Empyrean? I don't remember buying that. Somebody recommended it and I bought it, and then I haven't done shit with it. I'd like to fucking play Mad Max again. I really enjoyed that game. Oddworld Munch's Odyssey.
Oddworld was cool. Apes Exodus was the shit.
I've streamed quite a bit of Civilization 5 for you guys, but never Civilization, never Civilization fucking, or wait a minute. It was 6 that I've done, but never 5. And I've wanted to do 5 for you guys. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Tom Clancy's The Division.
That was a rough game.
I've been planning on doing a Witcher stream for you guys, mainly so that my friend who wants to see me do a certain part of Witcher can see it. I know most of you guys don't care about The Witcher. I have my whole fucking library of PlayStation games that I've been wanting to go through. I now have 35,000 games on my RetroPie. Like, I've got some shit that I've got to do. And I haven't been able to. So, I have a very long to-do list, and it seems to just keep growing. So, it kind of makes it hard for me to do some of the other stuff that I want to do, because it's like there's just not enough hours in the day for me to do it all, you know. And then a lot of the shit that I want to do isn't even multiplayer, so it's not like I can get my buddies here into it, you know. I've also been wanting to do a playthrough of Skyrim for you guys. I'm not doing it soon, but I've been wanting to do it. I have never streamed a complete playthrough of a Skyrim or Fallout game. So it's kind of on my to-do list to do one of those, just to say that I've done it. Another thing on my to-do list is a 24-hour-long marathon. I was thinking about doing that with some of my PTO. I also have hours and hours and hours of tower climbing footage to edit for you guys. And then I want to take my motorcycle to Colorado and ride it on the Black Canyon of the Gunnison. And that's a really fucking rigorous, trying, and technical road, but there's some really fucking stunning views. And a lot of really awesome shit to see, and I've been wanting to get some of that on my GoPro for you guys. And I've been wanting to get this fucking bullshit edited and put on fucking on Spotify for you guys. So, like, my list is very fucking long. And my computer is still not completely fucking up to snuff, which is evidenced by my lack of webcam. In fact, I have no idea where my GoPro even is. I just know a list of places where it's not. So, yeah. Another thing that I've been working on, okay. Did I tell you guys that fucking Alter took off and left?
You told me.
Yeah, you told me earlier.
Well, I haven't fucking told anybody on the stream. It wouldn't surprise me if she ends up watching this or listening later down the road.
Fuck you, bitch. Where's my sandwich?
She just kind of took off and left. No explanation, no note, no nothing. She took the hard drive out of her gaming computer and left the rest of it behind, so I guess I have 2 gaming computers now. I should feel bad about it, but I don't. I'm just curious. But it is what it is. Hey, let's start blowing up Quack's DMs. He said he'd be here at 10, and he is that many minutes late. So, all right. I've talked at great length about... Oh, yeah. Y'all are probably wanting to know about that attempted murder on me. I told one of you guys earlier, but I didn't tell the other. I don't remember who I told.
You told me.
You said something about it.
Well, I told one of you guys directly.
You told me.
Okay. That's why
I do have to throw out that I have work in 6 hours, so I'm going to need to fuck off soon.
Okay. Then I'll make my story brief so you can tell yours, because I know you got some shit to say. Somebody put a fucking snake in my truck.
There's a snake in my boot.
A rattlesnake.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Dead ass. I go out to my truck at 6 in the goddamn morning, sit in the fucking driver's seat. Good morning. Fucking rattlesnake bite.
You got bit?
I got bit in the fucking calf. It was under the driver's seat.
Wow.
Yep.
So you had to go to the hospital, I assume?
You're goddamn right I had to go to the hospital. And then the fucking doctors are like, how the fuck did you get bit by a rattlesnake at fucking 6 in the morning? Because, you know, that's a weird time to get bit by a rattlesnake.
Right.
Usually they're like hiding under a rock or some shit. So then I had
Here's the better question. Did it even fucking rattle?
Not that I heard. It might have, but to give you a little bit of context, I don't take a lot of time to actually wake up and collect myself. Like, I get up, I throw my clothes on, and like 5 minutes after I got up, I'm out the door. So, I'm still in a state of mind. Getting into my truck, I'm still in a state of mind where I don't really know what the fuck is going on. And it took me like 30 seconds to process that I'd been bitten by a rattlesnake. So instead of driving to work, I drove to the hospital.
Yeah, I can see that.
Rattlesnake's still in the truck.
What, still?
Well, what? Am I going to reach under the seat and grab it?
No, you're gonna say something to somebody and have them do it.
No, I did end up reaching.
Have you ever heard of fucking animal control, bro?
I did end up reaching under the seat to grab it, but I waited until I got to the hospital to do that. I'm like, what, is it gonna bite me in the fucking calf again? Like, it's only got so much venom till it runs out.
Yeah, but it can attack, I think, up to like 3 or 4 times with venom.
Well, I'm already on the way to the hospital, and the hospital is conveniently within walking distance of where I live and not obstructed by train tracks. So, I felt like I was pretty good to go when it came to going there. Also, the truck the hospital is south of me on Main Street. The truck is parked on Main Street facing south. So legit, all I have to do is step on the fucking gas and go straight. Like, I don't even have to turn.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, all these things into consideration, going to the hospital seemed like the thing to do. So after getting to the hospital, I explained what happened and was told that I would have to wait. While waiting, I proceeded to go back to the truck and get the fucking snake. Because, like, I used to breed snakes. Like, I'm not uncomfortable dealing with snakes. And if I'd known it was there, I would have been able to get it out without getting bit. But I didn't know it was fucking there. Like, that's not somewhere where you expect a snake to be. You don't go looking for one there. Under your fucking car seat. So I just kind of I reached in there and it tried to fucking bite my hand, and when it tried to fucking bite my hand, I grabbed it with my other hand. And I took that bitch into the hospital with me.
Yep. Nope.
And I'm like, yeah, I got bit by a snake. And the lady kind of looked at me like I was joking the first time when she told me to wait. I come in there with the fucking snake, and I'm like, you see this fucker? It bit me. She started freaking the fuck out. She's like, well, you need to get that snake out of here. I was like, I'm not going to get the snake out of here. We probably need its fucking venom.
Right.
For anti-venom shit? Like, do I have to explain to you how it works, or like did you
I'm
start?
not a scientist. I don't know the fucking recipe, but bitch, get it done.
Did you start? Did you start working here? Or are you just figuring this out, or what's up?
You ever seen an episode of House?
And I'm
Fuck,
like,
lady.
I'm like, if you have a problem with the snake, go get me a fucking pillowcase, and I'll put the snake in the pillowcase. And then you can give it to whatever fucking expert needs it, and they'll know what to do. So she got me a pillowcase, and then she got me in immediately to see, like, what should have been a doctor, but it was really a practicing nurse.
Yeah, nurse practitioner.
Because there's, like, no doctors there at 6 in the morning.
No.
So
That's cool. I trust most nurses over most doctors anyway.
They gave me some shots and some other shit. And they're like, yeah, this is really going to suck for the next few days. If you feel, if it goes beyond that, come back. Like, all right.
What do you mean? Goes beyond sucking? I'm sorry. It
Well,
really sucks now.
Like if you have a heart attack.
Well,
like that,
okay, I'm paraphrasing a little bit because she told me all the things that I'm supposed to feel, which aren't too unfamiliar. Because if y'all don't remember, at least, maybe y'all weren't there. But when I used to do fucking live streams, right? And I'd go on a walk after the stream, and we all kind of hang out in Discord.
Yeah.
On one of those walks, I got bit by a fucking rattlesnake.
Really?
Yep. Like, I'm familiar.
How the fuck does someone get bit by?
Like,
I'll never understand shit like that.
like like
sometimes they don't rattle when you get close, bro.
like and if I'm walking around with my fucking headphones and talking into my fucking phone, I'm not gonna hear it rattling. It just bites.
That too.
And that time it bit me in the fucking foot. I had flip flops on because I'm a Florida guy. I didn't go to the hospital that time. It just sucked for a few days, and then whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, no.
So but it got even worse from there because I had to fill out a fucking police report. Because they're like, well, you don't normally, come across snakes at 6 in the morning. How'd you come across this one? being tired and
my car and it bit me.
being tired and already worn out and not knowing what bullshit to say to make it sound fucking, like I just came across it. Like, yeah, I just kind of, sat in my truck and it was under the seat and it fucking bit me. Wait. You had a snake under the seat of your... How'd it get there? I don't fucking know. Ask the snake.
Right.
The fuck should I know how it got in there? What do you think? I'm catching these fuckers and hiding them under my own seat so they can bite me? Like, what kind of dumb fucking question is that?
I mean, it makes sense, though.
So, well...
I needed a day off.
That was the wrong answer to give her.
Why?
Because then I had to explain to the police.
Oh.
It turned into a fucking...
Yes.
It turned into an attempted homicide investigation.
I mean, do you have an idea of who did it?
Alter.
I mean, I have surveillance cameras, so yeah.
Did you inform the police of who did it?
I just gave them the hard drive. Like, y'all can sort through the footage.
Well, that's fun. Was it Alter?
No. But it was an ex-girl. Well, it wasn't really an ex-girl. It was a guy that an ex-girl sent.
Oh, that's fun.
So, they are both in custody now, which is why I can
Nice.
talk about it. I wasn't really talking about it much before because there is still a bunch of legal bullshit going on with it. And I mean, they haven't been to trial yet. I mean, there's still legal bullshit going on with it, but I'm not like, disclosing anything that could like jeopardize the case because it would fucking, put whoever put the snake in the car, on the like, oh shit, cops are looking for me now.
Right.
Like,
All I gotta say is when you get your hard drive back, you should totally upload that footage to YouTube.
all I gotta say is, better luck next time, Amanda.
Boom. Mic drop.
Like, straight up, better luck next time. It's like, and I say that in all sincerity. I would, as much bullshit has been going on in my life, I would much prefer an assassination attempt to be successful. I mean, I could at least have died in an interesting way. Like, how'd you get here? I was assassinated. And
That's fun.
I'm not sure what feeling is the strongest in me. I'm not sure if I feel pride in the fact that I've pissed somebody off enough to attempt to kill me. Pride in the fact that they have failed. Or shame on their behalf.
All of those tied up into one.
I mean, if I was trying to kill you, I don't think I'd use a rattlesnake.
I mean, I don't...
I mean, it's something like less than 4 people every year in the United States die from that. That's just weak way to try.
Well, yeah, I mean, not only that, but, you're putting yourself at great danger when you go to try to fucking do that.
Also, when I say 4 a year, I mean 4 from all snake bites, not just rattlesnakes. So this bitch should have got like a black mamba or something and headed under your shit. Like, at least it'll be harder to get the anti-venom.
Yeah, well, it would have ended the same way with me snatching that motherfucker out from under the fucking seat. Guess what? I have been bitten by a mamba before.
You know what you haven't been bitten by? A
What?
common brown.
A what?
A common brown.
I don't know what that is.
You'd be fucking dead.
I'll tell you what I have not been bitten by, and after watching a certain a certain video, I will take any fucking bite that I have ever had ever over this thing as a giant centipede.
Yeah, I've heard horror stories.
Watch.
I don't know, dude. When Coyote Peterson did that fucking wasp sting one,
No.
dude, that was
He said
bad.
the centipede hurt more than anything.
Watch Coyote Peterson's video on the centipede if you haven't. I was not afraid of centipedes until I watched that video. And then seen the fucking close-up camera shots of the centipedes. Those things are fucking creepy. I am legit creeped out by those things.
It bit the ever-living fuck out of him.
That thing fucked him up. I think he actually had to use the epinephrine pen that time.
I'm gonna look.
That thing completely fucking destroyed him.
It knocked him down to a little boy.
Now, on the subject of almost dying, 2.0 mentioned to me earlier in passing that he had a story that he'd like to talk about on the fucking Kekfest, and that's kind of what provoked the idea of me doing a Kekfest. That and the fact that I won't be going to work tomorrow, so I can be up all night. So,
Unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah,
Well-
I got work tomorrow too.
Fucking. Well, remember how I think it was like one of the last Kekfests where I was like, "Yeah, guys, I'm doing the keto diet, and blah blah blah, and I've lost like 30 fucking pounds."
yeah,
You know what else
I
you
do
know what I
remember
mean?
you
Like
being
gained?
super fucking proud of that.
You know what I fucking gained?
What?
5 kidney stones in various sizes.
Man, that almost sounds like a sales pitch.
Oh man, the first
Oh,
two.
I'll give you 1 kidney stone. Oh, here's another kidney stone. But wait, if you order right now for $39.99, you will get 2 more kidney stones absolutely free.
That's pretty much what it was like. So I started having like some severe pain in my back. I kind of knew what it was because I've had them before, but not this. The first 2 were like 3 millimeters apiece. You can shoot those out of your cock. It's gonna hurt. Whatever.
You could shoot those out of a BB gun too.
Fucking. So the next one, which was the first one that caused problems, I was, doubled over in pain. I could feel the rock in my dick, but it was making slow progress, and I was okay. Took about 18 hours to piss that rock out. It shot out like a boulder. I had the world's most relieving piss ever.
How big was it?
That one was 5 millimeters. Well, it was 5.6 millimeters.
Okay.
And that was the one that they took off to get tested. It turns out I had calcium oxalate stones. I was like, okay, that's the most common stone. There's a lot of weird shit I can't eat anymore. But whatever, I can live with that. Well, a week goes by and they're like, well, there's still these 2 stones in you. One's coming down and one just ain't gonna go anywhere. It's 1.3 centimeter.
What?
I said, what? They said it's 1.3 centimeters. I said,
Let me
I said,
give me a moment. I need to do a conversion.
it's 13 millimeters.
No, I'm not talking about millimeters.
It's a quarter of an inch. You're wondering?
No, it's not a quarter of an inch. You're wrong.
Oh shit, I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's a half an inch.
Yeah, it was about a. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Bro, homie, that's slightly wider than a 50 caliber bullet.
I am well aware. The one that was traveling down, well, the 1.3 centimeter one was stuck in my kidney. It wasn't going anywhere.
Is it out now?
I'm gonna get to that. But
Jesus
the one that was
fucking
traveling
Christ.
down was, for all intents and purposes, it was a popcorn kernel.
Okay.
And you would think, yeah, that shit, you could piss that out, and I did.
I mean, it would
pissed it out.
it would suck, but you could do it.
Well, here's the thing. Did you know that your urethra could collapse?
No.
Yeah, me either. After I pissed out, remember how I explained how after the 5mm one happened, I had this amazing piss and felt so relieved, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, after that popcorn kernel, which was 8.5mm, by the way, my dick was collapsed, and I thought that big kidney stone followed that one down. It was in my bladder trying to come out the dick, because that's what it felt like.
Oh no.
After that honking 7mm boy came out, I went to go push and take this epic piss, and I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a dribble, not a drop. I said, okay, I'll try again in an hour and piss. Mind you, because of the 7mm one, I hadn't pissed for 24 hours at that point. And when I say I haven't pissed, I mean I haven't had a relieving piss. I can push hard enough to make 2 or 3 drops come out.
Damn. So they have to do
Yeah.
surgery?
Oh, I'm good. Yes, eventually.
Oh,
So
you
the
still
next-
got it?
Oh, no. I got rid of it. But
So did you pass it, or did they have to do surgery?
oh, they had to get that. They had to blast that one. That there was no passing it. But after the night of the 8.5mm one, fucking, I wake up in the morning and I still can't piss. Except now it feels like someone's driving a fucking. The only way I can describe it is like a 400-degree needle through the part where it collapsed. So like halfway up my dick was the most searing pain I have ever felt in my life, to the point to where I was punching the fucking chimney stack trying to get any kind of relief. And I was like literally screaming.
That's an ambulance ride.
Well, no, I hopped in the car, I got to the emergency room, and they were like, hold on a minute, hold on to go get to triage. Well, in that time, I had to try and piss again. So they heard me in the bathroom screaming. And they're like, what the they came in like, dude, all right, let's go get you in a triage. My heart rate was like 145 over like 90 or some shit. And they're like, holy shit. I'm like, okay. They take me into x-ray. They try to give me a catheter. And I say try because they failed. Then they tried with a bigger catheter and failed. They were like, all right, we got to go get the urology guys because they have better tips and tricks and stuff. They can get it in there. I said, okay, I don't give a fuck as long as anybody. Just I gotta pee so goddamn bad. I think I'm gonna die.
Poke a fucking needle in there or something.
Right. I'm 2 days of not pissing.
Like, cut me, man. Cut me.
Exactly. And so while they're looking for the urology team, they send me up to the ultrasound lady. They checked my bladder. My bladder has 2 gallons of piss. 2 whole gallons.
Jesus.
Yeah, they rush me back downstairs. They find the urology team. The urology team comes in with a Foley catheter. It's the same first catheter that the emergency room tried to use. Guess what? They failed and grabbed the big boy catheter again. Mind you, they're getting it into my dick, but not all the way through down to the bladder. They keep needing a quote-unquote blockage, which is my dick tube collapsed. It gets even better. They finally give up with the catheters, and they go get this scope. This scope is a honking boy. It's bigger than the second catheter. It's fat. And the first catheter is the size of a cigarette.
Oh,
the second catheter is like, how do I describe it?
Bro, like a pen? Bro, that makes. Oh my
Double
god,
A10.
dude, that makes my dick shrivel up just thinking about it. Oh my god.
It was even bigger. All right, imagine highlighter. Okay.
Oh god,
They
no.
finally-
No, fuck.
mind you, I'm laying there while they got my dick in their hand and they're jamming this shit down.
Oh,
And she's like, I keep
God.
finding all these false passages. And I'm like, that's not a false passage. You're just making a new hole, you stupid bitch. Because I'm screaming in pain from the fucking, from me trying to piss.
Oh, I'd be looking for a cyanide pill at that point.
Oh God, if it was available, I would have happened.
Jesus Christ.
They finally get this scope through to my bladder, and I dump out 2 whole ass gallons of piss. And they're like, yeah, you gotta stay overnight for observation because your heart rate won't come down. And I'm like, I wonder why, you fucking retards.
Bro, if you put something the size of a fucking highlighter up a guy's urethra, his heart rate's not gonna fucking go down. What do you expect?
Well, it gets even better.
Like you just about want to fucking knock a guy out for that type of thing.
Exactly. So around 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hold on, I don't know. I would be ready to kill somebody until they got it through, and then that relief happened.
You don't understand. That relief was painful. It wasn't good. And you don't feel like you're pissing. You just feel like the piss feeling kind of just went away. So you never get that relief of pissing. It's just like the pressure dissipates, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm okay now. So, mind you, I went in at 9 o'clock in the morning. Flash forward to 3 o'clock in the morning the next day. This big ass, huge, burly nurse comes running into my room with the crash cart. And he was like, your heart rate's going into AFib. And I'm like, if you don't get the fuck away from me with those paddles, you're gonna go into AFib.
With
Back the fuck up.
Paddles?
Yeah, dude, my heart rate was going so fast, he was like 100% sure that it was gonna stop.
Oh, so he brought out like the electrical bullshit?
Yeah, he was about to hit me with the clear. No, he was gonna do it before my heart stopped. He was gonna stop my heart and then restart it. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That's not happening.
Like, yeah, wait for me to fucking die and then bring me back. Don't kill me.
So I sit there and I start like ignoring him and shit, and I start meditating and like doing everything I can to bring my heart rate down. It finally drops by like 20 BPM, and he's like, "What do you mean, why?"
I said slide.
Exactly. And so I'm sitting there for the next like 4 hours just focusing on my breathing, chilling the fuck out, like zen as fuck. 10 o'clock in the morning rolls around, they finally let me out that bitch. They're like, all right, well, we did an X-ray and there's no other stone in your bladder. We don't know what the fuck that was about, but that one that's in your kidney, we'll see you in 20 days. I'm like, okay.
Oh no.
So for 20 days, I pissed blood, like hardcore blood. They finally, they put me to sleep for this one. Thank fucking God, because I found out they shoved that highlighter tube up my dick again. They take this laser and they go all the way, they go through your dick, through your bladder, up this tube called a ureter to your fucking kidney, and they blast that shit like it's the goddamn Death Star.
What could you imagine, just for a brief moment, what has to be going through the mind of a medical student to make them think, oh, you know what? I want to fucking, I want to get into urology. I want to shove a highlighter-sized fucking thing up a guy's dick.
2 words. Sadism and sociopath.
Think about the state of mind that somebody has to be in to have the desire to do that for a career field.
I mean, the money's good, I'm sure.
It goes like this. I'm gonna be an ER doctor.
So you
I'm
don't.
Gonna
so
be the best one.
So in that
then all of us. Go ahead.
That was kind of a sad answer to one question that I did have.
What?
Is if you still had the kidney stone, because if you did, my proposal would be to load that thing up into a shotgun slug and hold on to it for the next burglar that comes into your house.
Well, I got 2 3mm ones, and I got that popcorn kernel one, so I still can.
I mean, if you get like 4 or 5 more of them, you can load them up like a fucking number 8 buckshot.
I mean, give me a couple years, I probably will.
You imagine getting killed by somebody shooting fucking kidney stones at you.
I mean, I hope it goes through them because I'm pretty sure it's
lost
not DNA.
kidney stones.
Fucking shoot him in the kidney with them.
Yo, that would be hilarious because if it doesn't go all the way through and gets implanted in their kidney, they patch this motherfucker up. He's got to piss out my kidney stone that collapsed my dick.
And maybe if that guy's really unlucky, that kidney stone will grow a little bit in there.
Man, I'll tell you what though, after they blasted that stone, the first 3 pisses I took, man, you cannot describe this level of burning. It was pissing sand and blood.
I'm
No
surprised,
bullshit.
bro.
A mixture of sand and blood.
I'm surprised you still have a bladder after that whole ordeal.
Shit, no lie. Right after my dick got fixed, probably 24 hours, blew a load. I found out that if a kidney stone is actively in your dick and won't come out, if you bust a nut, it actually helps.
Hey, that's
Well, I
good
can
to
see
know.
lubrication purposes.
No, it's like 2 different tubes, and when you bust a nut, the other tube activates, and it does come out of your urethra hole a little bit, but it's like it's crazy. It's like there's two tubes in your dick, and your cum tube comes up like 3/4 of the way through your urethra, but when you bust, it relaxes your urethra and it opens. So
All right.
like,
So the takeaway from this is Doctor 2.0 says that we need to fucking beat off at least 3 times a day.
facts. That is the clean takeaway from this. Bust nuts.
Well, that's a fucking prescription I could do.
That's a doctor I can get behind.
Excuse me while I go do some physical therapy. Wow. How have you been, Taco?
I'm alright, man. Took a little bit of time off of work, getting back into the swing of things.
Anything as exciting as fucking what we've been going through?
No, not even close.
Damn.
What are
Yeah,
you?
I have nothing. Allied Barton.
Oh, you're a security guard again?
Still.
Yeah. I might be in the market for another job soon.
Come to Cleveland.
Huh?
Come to Cleveland.
Telling you, dude, there's all the work out here.
I
You want to
mean-
do anything. Trust me, there's a job for it.
I mean, between security, Taco can help you with that. If you want to come work in the steel trade, I can help you with that.
I want to be behind a desk and not on my fucked up ankle,
Security.
preferably. Like if I could get,
Oh shit, it's Quacksaw Ribs.
yeah, only 42 minutes late. How you doing, buddy?
I said between. I didn't say
Betwixt.
I didn't say I was gonna be here at 10. I said I'd be here between 10 and 11.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Yeah, when you say between 10 and 11, to me, that means like sometime before 10:30.
Well, you've been
Opposed to
mistaken.
images in genital.
What is that? Oh
Yeah,
shit.
what the fuck am I? Is that a piss bag?
Yes, it is.
That was when it was half full, and if you look, all that brown shit and stuff, that's blood from my dick, bro.
Why is it brown?
Because I hadn't pissed for 2 days.
Oh shit, that's the stone they took out?
That's the 5mm one.
Damn.
Load that fucker up into a bullet and shoot it at someone.
That's so gross.
Shotgun with an 11.
Oh my god. I
Okay.
named that, the one that I posted a picture of is named Balthazar.
So how have you been, Quack?
I've been alright. Fucking started a new job. fucking, so I've been having to get up earlier.
Doing what?
Fucking, you gotta get at that HVAC shit real early.
I mean, I'm not doing HVAC shit, but do got to be getting up pretty early. I gotta wake up at 5 in the morning.
Still haven't answered what you're doing.
I work for a dog breeder.
Okay, that's the last thing I was expecting to hear.
I mean, and I mean this with all due respect, so please don't think that I'm trying to be like, ha ha. But I mean, what does a dog breeder do? Just watch dogs fuck? I mean, I know you gotta like give the dog food, you gotta give the dog water. After that, I mean, what are you doing? Just like, yep, they're fucking.
I mean that's pretty much what you do with snake breeding mostly.
No, I mean, you know, you gotta. I mean, yeah, that part is there, but like that's not all of it.
And let it hump your hand until it finishes and collect it in a cup.
Oh God!
Yeah, actually.
I'm aware insemination is a thing because sometimes you can't get the two dogs that you want to fuck in the same room because they'll kill each other.
Actually, no. For our breed, it's just that they'll get stuck.
What breed?
Frenchies.
So Quack beats off dogs for a living.
No, actually, I take care of the puppies. So
okay.
I'm the one. I'm the one that's got to clean up the piss of the shit. I'm the one that's got to lay the mom down so they can eat.
Well, that would be preferable to beating dogs off for a living.
I would rather definitely clean up shit than fucking jerk dogs off.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure exactly what that meant. I like I said, I didn't mean disrespect, but I mean, dogs fuck, bro. They do that on their own.
I know that you didn't intend it to be funny, but the way you fucking phrased it came out fucking hilarious.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot. A few weeks ago, some fucking plebeian hit me up on Instagram trying to get me to give him my Instagram handle, and I was like, go fuck yourself.
I don't even have I don't think I have Instagram. Fucking
my shit's King Gingy. So a message, a fucking profile called King Gingy 2.0 hit me up.
I've been getting on these online dating apps, trying to get a little bit of pussy.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not really having the best of luck with that. A lot of it is fucking like, oh, if you want to talk to me, we got to go to Instagram or WhatsApp. I'm like, I don't fucking do those.
Yeah,
I hate to break it to you, dog. If they tell you that you have to go to fucking WhatsApp, then
definitely a bot.
They're not a real person.
Yeah, I don't fucking do WhatsApp anyways. So that's kind of.
I'm just saying, even if you did, like, that's not a real person.
So that's kind of shut down, and I reply like, why don't we just quit fucking around and like go out to dinner or something? And then I don't really.
That's sweet.
I don't really get a good response, and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and report your profile then. If you can't fucking talk to me here, I ain't interested in you.
Fucking facts.
Like. All right, man. Take it easy.
It was good catching up with you guys.
Take it easy.
Later.
Like, not much has to be said, honestly, in the dating apps. Hey, how are you doing? All right, good. When do you want to go out?
Well, I mean, yes and no, because it seems like nowadays they want to get to know you before they even meet you in person.
They're not set up to be, like, really good for talking to people in. They're just not.
No, they're not.
So that's kind of why I'm like, well, why don't we just cut to the chase and I'll, like, buy you lunch or whatever.
God, as long as you're not one of those people, hey, you want to go get a cup of coffee?
I mean,
No.
At least it's a social setting that someone could be like, you know what, this ain't working out, and get up and walk away and not create a scene.
I offered to fucking take the last girl to the fucking Longhorn Steakhouse. Like, why don't
I'm like, bitch, let me
You
buy
don't
you a
have to
steak.
be lonely at farmersonly.com.
I'm like, why don't I'm like, she's like, yeah, well, why don't you, like, hit me up on Instagram? I don't talk here very much. I'm like, well, if you don't want to talk here very much, why don't we just talk in person? I'll buy you a steak. We'll go to Longhorn Steakhouse or Outback or whatever. What's up? No reply. Like, all right, whatever. I'll just report your profile then.
I mean, I guess.
But then the other thing is that, like, at least the Facebook one is dominated mostly by, like, fat girls and girls who have, like, 5 kids.
Or
No,
like,
no, no.
No,
ahead.
if I go on your okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, and if you're a woman who's watching this fucking stream, and you ever fucking have a hope of getting with me, just keep this in mind. If I look at your profile and you're like, yeah, I'm the mother to 2 insert adjective here, young boys, family is first, my kids come before you do, or anything like that. Hashtag BBW, whatever. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna instantly fucking swipe the way that will have you fuck off and go somewhere else. Because I'm not looking to raise somebody else's kids. And you as a woman can't expect a guy to just come from the fucking streets and be a dad to your kids instantly.
Oh, no, you can't. Like,
And
you know,
I get that family comes first, but you shouldn't have to fucking say it. You know?
I'm gonna disagree with you there. Because I think nowadays that you kind of actually do need to make that apparent to people that, like, you're gonna put the family before them because of, honestly, it's because of the way that the generation,
Well,
before, basically before Gen Z, if you want to call them the millennials, I don't know, fucking, you can't fucking get a straight answer on who's a millennial, who's a Gen Z, who's a boomer.
who
Fucking
gives
all
a
that bullshit.
shit?
But I think it's a generational thing. I think that the previous generation was so forward about, you have to find a man, you gotta get married, you gotta all this and that, right? And that generation put doing the finding somebody and getting married part before the family part. And so I
Well,
think what that is it's the obvious retaliation to, I'm not gonna raise my kids the way you raised me.
you know what that fucking tells me as somebody who's looking at their profile, though? That tells me that if they legitimately, like, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and let's say they are interested in a relationship with me. That fucking tells me that they're not willing to make any compromise whatsoever in an effort to make that relationship fruitful and work.
Why does that tell you that?
I'm not talking about, like, big compromise. I'm not saying somebody's got to completely forget their fucking kids. But like if it comes to the point that your kids are interfering with your ability to be able to go out with whoever the fuck, like, you can't get a babysitter for your kids or whatever. It's just kind of telling me that they either can't or are unwilling to make any sort of compromise in order to make the relationship work.
See, I feel like
in order to even give you time to get to know her or whatever,
See, I feel like the problem with what you just said is that at the start of the relationship, right, when you're first going out, like you're talking about, the time when you're getting to know them,
yeah,
right?
and that time
that
time has to go towards getting to know each other. Like, before you factor in kids, you got to get to know each other. And if you're not willing to make compromises with timing and stuff like that, like, oh, we'll have grandma pick up the kids from soccer practice so I could go on the date to get to know this person or whatever. Like,
Theoretically,
if
they
you're
should know the-
if you're not willing to do little shit like that, then you're never gonna have a relationship that fucking works as a single parent.
Like I was going to say, theoretically. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me finish the point that I was trying to make in the first place. Okay. So the point that I was trying to make in the first place, right, is that beginning stage, right? You pretty much, for the most part, right? They're gonna have that problem solved. What you're talking about, the time problem, because
They're
for them
not.
to even, but they are.
I'm telling
Because
you,
for them to even
I'm telling you from personal fucking experience that they don't.
Well, then you're chasing trashy chicks, bro.
I mean,
Like, I'm sorry to be an asshole, but like you're just chasing trashy chicks because
I'm
I
not.
can say from my experience
I'm not.
of
I'm
dating
not.
a mother.
I'm not fucking chasing anybody. I'm just
Well,
fuck.
I
I'm
didn't
just.
mean it like that,
I'm just
you know, I
fucking
just meant-
throwing. I don't really give a fuck either way. I'm just throwing a fishing line out there and seeing what bites.
No, I get what you're. I didn't mean it like literally you're chasing them, but I'm just saying like you know the experiences you have were obviously with somebody who is a trashy person.
And
because I can say from my experiences of dating a mother, you like they you know the one that I went out with, like I didn't have to fucking worry about that shit because that beginning part of that relationship, they already knew like ahead of time pretty much that's like they're gonna have to when they plan a date, you know, they have to come they either have to come with the knowledge of what days they will be able to go out again, or you know they think about it and they go, okay, I should be able to get somebody to watch my kids that day, and then you know if they can't do it, then they tell you like, oh, you know, I can't get a sitter, like, but I don't understand why it's a big deal. Like, if they can't get a sitter that day,
it's not the biggest deal like once or twice. It becomes a big deal when it happens consistently.
I can agree to that, but like the way you made it,
it shows me that
sound...
it shows me that they're not even remotely interested in trying to make anything work.
If I was trying to date somebody and the first thing that they started talking about was their kids, I'm instantly uninterested. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like your kids or that I wouldn't like your kids, but I'm definitely not interested in how many fucking kids you have while I'm on a date with you.
Not here to get to know your kids. I'm here to get to know you.
Right. Now, if it becomes something and you want to start talking about your kids and mentioning them and things of that nature, fine. But on, like, the first few dates, nah, man. Unless it's one of them situations.
Well, the other thing is that a lot of these people, that is the first motherfucking sentence in their bio.
Right.
I got 4 kids.
Yeah.
See, I think here's the thing about that too, right? Is I also like part of that is, again, that's a generational thing. Our generation, you know, it has exactly the problem that you just stated, right? Where if you see that they have kids, right, and they talk about their kids right away, you know, like a mother usually does, you get disinterested, right? But let me ask you, hold on.
The other thing that fucking tells me, the other thing that fucking tells me is that having sex with her would be like throwing a hot dog down an empty hallway.
That's not true. But go ahead.
That's not true. But anyway, fucking but then look at the opposite side of the spectrum. What happens when a guy dates a chick for like, you know, a couple months, right? And then they finally, you know, start to move, you know, closer to, you know, to something more serious, and then all of a sudden, you know, like she finally invites you over to the house for the first time ever, and all of a sudden there's a fucking kid there. Now, let's be real here. You're gonna get pissed that she didn't mention it before. Am I wrong or am I right?
You're right about that, but I'm not. Like, we've already gotten to the point. If we've been dating for a couple of months, there at some point would have been an appropriate time to mention the kids.
Right.
Okay.
It's
a
not the.
couple of months
It's just.
might have been
It's not the first
might have-
fucking thing that I want to see.
Right.
Now,
I get I might have gone a little too far with the time, but my point remains the same, right? Is like women have to deal with this problem of they either tell you right away and then you become disinterested because of the kids, or they don't tell you right away, you find out about the kids, and then you get pissed because she didn't tell you about the kids.
Well,
You know what I mean?
that
So they-
depends on. Now,
then
hold
you have
on.
to
Now you're putting. Hold on. Now you're putting their thoughts and their problems into your actions. I never said I didn't like kids. I never said that I wouldn't be willing to accept kids. But
But I never
treat
said
it-
you didn't like the kids. I never said you wouldn't.
Well,
But my point is, though, is that realistically speaking, you're gonna get pissed if she didn't mention them, and you had to find out because you just showed up and there were kids.
I will
That's
tell.
my point.
I will tell
if it
you.
went down like that, I'd be a little off put and be like, well, why didn't you say something? But at the same time, I mean, if it was trying to be a relationship between us adults and the kids aren't a factor yet, those kids aren't my kids. My money's my money. I'm not going to spend my money on your kids until we become an official thing.
Right, and that's fair. I don't think anybody could disagree with that point. But that still has nothing to do with my point of women have to constantly deal with the battle of do we tell them now or do we tell them later, and either way they fucking lose.
Yeah,
Well, you
well-
tell them later. You don't throw them under the bus later. You
Yeah,
tell them later.
Yeah,
Like,
you,
hey, in passing, like, oh, I have kids. You know what I'm saying? Or I have 2 kids in passing.
yeah,
don't
like
tell 'em
some
that shit.
like some middle ground. You don't tell them on the first fucking date, but you don't fucking bring them home and let them find your fucking kids. You know,
No,
like
saying.
somewhere in between those 2 times. There should be an appropriate time to fuck, because I mean, women usually, and they ain't taking you home very fast. So
I mean, you could even as a girl mention it on some other slice shit. You know, like for the sake of arguing, the kid's name is Sam. You could be like, oh, well, Sam does that. The dude could be like, well, who's Sam? Oh, Sam's my blah blah year old child. Oh, you have kids. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, you know, and then the dude's gonna act how the dude's gonna act. If the dude didn't want to be with that kid or have anything to do with kids, I'm sure that the dude was pretty upfront about it in the first place. I don't want to deal with kids. I don't like kids. Fuck kids. You know
I
what
will
I'm saying?
tell you, I don't personally have a problem with kids. Where I have a problem is at least this generation's immediate expectation that because that fucking kid's dad left, that I'm gonna come in and raise that kid.
Right. First things first, I ain't even met this kid. This kid doesn't know me from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm willing to put in time to know this kid if you're willing to put in time with me. But if it's all a bunch of games or we're just fucking, then don't bring your kid into this.
Yeah, I think that's another problem, and I think that again, that's like I think why some chicks are again scared to almost tell people about their kids, like that they're dating, is exactly that. Is that sometimes, at least I have personally seen this, so I can say I have seen this. Sometimes what happens is they tell them about the kids, and then the way that they phrase it without meaning to make it sound that way, it sounds exactly like what you're talking about, where it's like they make it seem like, oh, I have kids now, I want you to raise them. That might not necessarily be how they come across, or that might not, I'm sorry, that might not necessarily be what they meant, but that's the way it came across,
Right. And that's fair too, because not everybody mentioning their child is like, can you be my kid's daddy?
Right.
Well, I usually just automatically swipe, I don't know, what is it, left or whatever on those fucking. If that's the first fucking if that's the first fucking thing I see, I'm like, nope.
Well, I mean, and that's and the thing is that's your right. You have all the right in the world to do that. If you don't want kids, nobody should be trying to force you to have a kid.
There was a fucking date that I did go on that I did not call that girl back.
Oh.
She thought it was a successful date, but I disagreed. We went to Hog Wild.
I don't know
Uh-huh.
what that is.
Huh?
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's a barbecue restaurant.
Okay.
A really good one at that.
A really good one. Because I don't fuck around when it comes to food. If I'm going to eat, I'm going to eat.
Right.
And she didn't fucking eat anything
At all?
at all.
Really?
I mean, she didn't order anything either, but she didn't eat
Why?
anything.
Why?
I don't know. She didn't say.
Did you ask?
No.
I mean, it could have been very much so, well, I don't eat meat. We're at a barbecue spot where everything has at least touched some form of meat.
I mean, she agreed to come to a barbecue spot. She could have been like, "Nah, I'm a vegan," and then I would have been like, "Well, all right."
I was literally just gonna say Taco. Think about who you're talking about. Do you think
yeah.
you still would have went to that date if she had said that she was a vegan?
No, I would. Well, to be completely honest with you, because I'm who I am, would never date a vegan. Because I'm just going to. I'm going to get mad because I'm a fucking carnivore, bro.
Well,
Right.
to
You
be
like
hon-
meat.
no,
I'm going to purposely eat the meat that you're not.
here's where I stand when it comes to vegans. Would I date a vegan? Yeah. What you eat is your fucking choice. Where it becomes a problem for me is when you try to get me to eat vegan.
Well, here's the thing. If I were to date a vegan, I would eat vegan options, but I wouldn't only eat vegan options.
Well,
You know, if you want to go out and have your
that's
day
what a
and
lot
go
of
to your
ve-
vegan restaurant, cool, let's go. I'll eat. I'll find something, I'm sure.
That's what a lot of vegans want, though. You know, it's like, oh well, you're not gonna eat meat again. I'm like, no, I'm gonna eat what I want, and you're gonna eat what you want, and we're just gonna have to be cool with that, or that's not gonna work. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, yeah, if she wants to go to a vegan place, I'm with you there. I'll go to a vegan place. Like, I'm not ruling out that I'll never eat vegan food. I've never once said that. I just said I'm not gonna stop fucking eating meat.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna like what I like, and I'm gonna eat what I like, and I'm not gonna stop eating what I like.
I'm just saying, you know what would make this salad better? Chicken and bacon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're the cornerstones of any good salad. I'm the type to go to a vegan restaurant and bring some bacon bits with me.
I'm bring real bacon.
Well, I'm just, you know, a little something I can stick in my pocket and like shake out onto the fucking, you know, so I can at least get a little bit of a taste without like getting my pockets all greasy. And just all over the salad.
Right. Sneeze bacon all over that bitch.
Or I'll, you know, I'll take the top off the container and just pour the whole fucking thing on that bitch. So, no, somebody being a vegan is not an ultimate fucking, you know, no for me.
It
But-
is for me because I'm not even gonna go through that fighting headache.
But when we go to a restaurant that I consider to be very good and you don't eat anything, that sends off all kinds of warning signals in my brain.
Well, was that a situation where she thought you guys were gonna go Dutch and she didn't have the money to blow on expensive ass barbecue?
I
And
mean, I was
assume-
offering to pay for her fucking food.
was that stated?
Yeah, I said order whatever you want. I got you.
Okay.
Like right there at the checkout thing. She just got a soda.
Speaking of food, I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab mine.
So that kind of put me off.
Right.
And I think part of the reason for that is fucking how I was raised. That fucking, like, everybody at the table has food or none of us have food.
Yep, absolutely.
And, you know, I mean, I'm Southern. So, sitting across from somebody, even from somebody who I've known for years, sitting across from somebody at a place when we're supposed to be eating and them not eating and not having eaten anything the whole time there does not feel right to me.
Nah, something's off.
Like, if me and Taco went to Cozy Inn and Taco did not have a single fucking burger, I would be highly suspicious something was amiss.
Well, you know that's never gonna happen.
Just saying.
I'm a
So-
fucking eater, bro. I eat.
Oh, I do too. I'll put down some food. I'm the type to go to like we have this Japanese steakhouse in Salina
Uh-huh.
called Daimaru. And most people get like a $15 meal there. I'll go in there and throw down like 70, 80 bucks.
Yeah, easy.
Like, yeah, I want the fucking ribeye steak with the fucking noodles, and I want like 3 bowls of soup, and like 4 servings of fucking dumplings, and a couple of lobster tails, and a bowl of rice. Fuck.
Oh, that's COVID.
COVID. I'll know for sure tomorrow.
Well, here's the hope.
Now, there is one glaring issue with that, though, that I am
What?
a little bit concerned about.
And that is.
I don't have any food here.
Well, you'll have to go and get some.
Like,
or get it delivered.
I eat out. So,
Well, I mean, that's a cool thing. You can wear your mask, make sure you're sanitized or whatever, and then just order your
mean,
food.
well,
Everything's fine.
well,
Or
yeah,
you can just not be a pussy and don't wear a mask.
well, we're talking about me we're talking about if I'm infected with COVID and I got to quarantine. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? If
DoorDash, baby.
If I've got to quarantine,
Deadass.
small town Kansas, if I've got to quarantine, don't get me wrong, I will. I've kind of been waiting for an excuse to not come out of my house for 14 days straight.
Right.
And a good excuse to just not have to deal with anybody for any reason ever. In fact, I've wanted that my whole life. That being said, yeah, I might have to break the rules a little bit and run to Walmart or something because I got no fucking food here. None.
Speaking of masks, apparently Singapore fucking sentenced a British guy to 6 weeks in prison for not wearing one.
What he gets.
Singapore doesn't fuck around.
No, it's not. But
It actually, in Singapore, it is.
I, unfortunately, do have to get going.
All right, man.
well, that's lame.
Yeah, it is.
Well-
Like, right as Quack rolls in, like 40 minutes.
Everybody
late.
rolled the fuck
Everybody's gotta
Everybody's
go.
got morning time jobs.
out. Yeah, no,
It's-
honestly, if
it's
I didn't have to go
midnight.
to, if I had to go to work tomorrow, I wouldn't even fucking be here right now.
Right, I gotta get up at 4:30. It's midnight.
If I had to go to work right now, I'd probably still be here because it wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
No, I would be in bed asleep right now because I wake up at 5 in the morning.
I
Yeah.
bid you adieu, gentlemen.
All
Later.
right. Bye.
I will holler at you soon.
Damn, we didn't even get to fucking talk about Afghanistan with the whole bird's nest here. Afghanistan makes me kind of mad.
Why? Because we spent 20 years there and they fucking took that shit back in a week?
No, not even. If
Oh.
they took it back in a week legitimately, I wouldn't care. But they took it back
So
in a week because the people who we spent fucking a decade trying to train ran away. Like all those Humvees, do you see any bullet holes in any of them? I don't. Those helicopters, no bullet holes, no scratches, no nothing. The
Well, you know why, right?
The Afghani soldiers that we trained were a bunch of fucking cowards. That's why.
So, it's funny because I just had this conversation, with my boss, you know, and, you know, he pointed something out to me, which I'm gonna tell you, and it, you know, kind of, it does make sense is, you know, what, the Taliban and it's not, you know, it's the Taliban, ISIS, Al Qaeda, they all do the same thing, right? When they start to try to take a country, what they do is they go to the small villages, right? They go to the little man, right? They go to these villages and they spend like a day or two and they find like the big bad motherfucker of the village, right? The one asshole that everybody listens to when he says something, right? Obviously it's usually an elder, but and what they do is they go to these fucking, you know, piss poor fucking villages in the middle of fucking hubba dubba dub fucking desert, you know, and they give them a fuck ton of money, right? With the choice of either take our money and send us any motherfuckers that can fight, right? And I mean, I'm talking like they will send 16, they'll send 15, 16-year-olds, but they go to these places, they give them a fucking ton of money, and they basically tell them, you can either take the money that we're giving you and give us all the people and ally yourself with us, or we kill you, right? And what are these people going to do? They're going to fucking take that, right? They're going to take the money. They're going to take the deal. They don't want to die. So they're going to fucking join up with these people. Well, what happens is the army did the same thing, right? So the army, except for the money, you know, but they went to the small villages. They went to the little fucking outliers. They found the people that qualified for the military, and they basically made promises that they couldn't have kept to convince these people to leave. But here's the thing, right? Who do you think that fucker is allied to more? You think he's allied more to the military? Or do you think he's allied to his fucking tribe back in the middle of the fucking desert? Well, he's going to care more about the tribe, right? So, when the Taliban rolled up, what reason would they have to fight the Taliban that is now allied themselves with their little village, and, you know, their little village elders and shit tell them that, you know, they tell them like, yeah, by the way, you know, we're, you know, hanging out with the Taliban now, you know, and then the village elders basically tell the people that they sent off to the army, right? They tell them like, yeah, no, fucking ditch the army and come back home and fucking fight with the Taliban, right? Because I told you to, because that's their culture. So I don't think it's, while some of it obviously is cowardice, some of it is just their culture making them choose sides.
A lot of it is cowardice, though.
Not
Because, well, what I'm looking at is one side that had superior firepower over the other side, significant technological advantages over the other side, and better training than the other side that threw down their fucking guns and ran away. That's what I'm looking at. I mean, they had fucking tanks, MRAPs, helicopters, fucking better small arms, fucking billions of rounds of ammunition. They had fucking drones. Like, they were... and they had a decade worth of... they had every fucking thing they needed.
Mm-hmm.
To decide their own fucking future.
But again, when your entire culture revolves around basically you do what your fucking village elder tells you to, because that's the way that's the way their culture is. If your fucking village elder tells you to ditch the army and work for the Taliban because that's what they want you to do, that 10 years of training, those drones, all that bullshit, doesn't matter to them anymore. Like, I think what you're doing is you're comparing what the American people would do in that situation to what the Afghan people would do to that situation. You know what I mean? Like, you're basing
I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, and I understand what you're saying, but that doesn't really change my mind.
Didn't say it had to, but
Just saying, it's just, I don't know, it fucking pisses me off, everything we invested in, well, now wasted over there just to, yeah, fuck it, throw it aside.
I get it. You know, a lot of people are pissed. I mean, how do you think, you're one of them, you know? How do you think veterans feel, dude? The people that went and fought in that fucking, in that country to fucking help those people.
A lot of veterans are going through a sort of identity crisis right now.
Well, yeah.
And then my other thing is that kind of goes along with that that I'd like to bring up is a lot of the Republicans that I have been seeing have been saying we need to go back there.
Oh, and I don't see why.
Because
I have also seen the same thing.
I do not think we have any more business being there.
At this point in time, the only thing we need to do is get the 10 to 40,000 Americans still in Kabul out. That's all we need to be focused on.
Well, that and another thing that may not be a bad idea is using strategic fucking strikes to disable a lot of those weapons and a lot of the infrastructure that we set up for them.
We should totally be sending tomahawks into fucking bases.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Strategic ballistic missile strikes.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like, if we're gonna pull out of there, we don't need to be leaving them any of the shit we left.
Like, blow up all those fucking runways. Blow the fucking helicopters away. Hell, I'd even go, and I know this would be an unpopular thing because of, you know, innocents getting caught up in it, but I'd even say go as far as I'm not opposed to that, but a more
here comes the sun.
But a more realistic a more realistic option would be to take out their whole fucking power grid.
Fucking EMP over the country.
A fucking EMP, take out the whole fucking power plant with a tomahawk. An EMP they could eventually fix.
Yeah, I guess they can't really fix a boom.
Flattened fucking power plant takes quite a bit more time. And quite a bit more resources that they will no longer be getting from us. Like, if they want to live in the fucking Stone Age, fucking put them back there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
It's not.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I can say, the House Committee of Foreign Affairs and Financing. They have blocked all access to the accounts that have basically the Afghans' fucking foreign donations.
As they should. In fact,
So
they
like
should.
they have
sh-
zero access to those accounts. They completely froze them.
They should seize that money and reallocate it to the veterans of to the veterans of war that came back from that fucked up place.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
You know, give a couple 100,000 of those, multiple hundred millions of dollars to that guy who got his fucking leg blown off.
I was just getting ready to say, like, I hope you don't think that they only have 200 grand in there or some shit. 'Cause
No,
those
no,
accounts
but-
have billions.
But for the amount of fucking veterans that came back from there fucked up, like, I don't know, we got to give them a realistic amount of money, and I think a bunch of that should go into the VA as well.
Sure, it'd be nice, but
I mean,
let's be
it
real,
it won't happen. They'll be spending it all on fucking Biden's down payment for the Green New Deal or whatever. But
no. You want to know what's going to happen to it? So here's what's going to happen. I guarantee this is going to happen. Like, I would almost put money on that this is going to happen. What's going to happen is, now that the Taliban has claimed full control of the Kabul airport,
the Biden administration will give it to Iran, for keks.
No. You want to know what's going to happen? That money is going to go from being a foreign donation to a ransom payment.
I don't think they should get any of that money, and I don't think we should negotiate with terrorists.
You're right, we shouldn't.
Unless we're
But look who we have as a president.
Unless we're negotiating aggressively with tomahawks.
No. So here's what's going to happen, right? Is because it's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
And who
What's
gives
going to happen is,
and who gives a shit about the airport? We'll just take out the runway with a missile. Like, whatever.
well, how are we going to get the 10,000 to 40,000 Americans still in Kabul out if there's no runway?
Helicopters? Fucking
That have a nautical range of what?
Like 1,500 miles, some of them.
Okay, and how far do you think it is to the next closest fucking military base from Kabul?
I'm saying, well, they can move some of these fucking people on land. Like, we shouldn't be dependent on one fucking runway. Move some of these move some of these people on land into a more advantageous area and fucking work from there. We have all kinds of resources at our disposal. We have other bases over there. We have other different types of helicopters over there. We have fucking amphibious assault ships that some of these people can go to that are set up to deal with refugees, mind you. Like, we have a whole bunch of fucking smaller things over there that we could do that would amount to what the Kabul airport would fucking get us.
Okay, well, I mean, that being said, that doesn't change the fact that what's going to happen is because they've taken control of the airport, right? And right now, Biden has pretty much come out and openly fucking said, essentially, that we're not going back for them right now. Like, the people that are stuck there are fucking stuck there. Like, their best bets are to just try to go to a different country themselves. Right? Like real shit, that is the best fucking option for them.
And we could easily negotiate something with a different country over there and set up some sort of infrastructure over there as well.
Well, yeah, sure, that's not my point. My point is, though, because they're stuck there right now, right? What's going to happen is because let's be real here, 10,000 to 40,000 people aren't just gonna migrate to a country, right? Like it doesn't just work that way.
I mean,
Like
we're,
they're
we're
gonna there's they're
I
gonna
mean,
be
I mean, we're allied with Pakistan. Let's fucking take advantage
Oh.
of that.
But basically what's gonna happen is eventually some of these Americans are gonna get found, right? And these Americans, once they get found, the first thing that these fuckers are gonna do with them is they are going to make an example, right? 'Cause that's what you have to do. You have to make an example out of something. So they're gonna make an example out of some poor American that's stuck there, and then what's gonna happen is because of our fucking coward of a fucking president, he's going to fucking pay a ransom, and he's going to basically pay for the freedom of the people that are still there, you know, and it's gonna come out of that frozen account.
Yeah,
you know,
I get where Biden would fucking do that, but I disagree with it.
no, he's a fucking coward.
The range of a V-22 Osprey is fucking 1,000 miles, and you can fit a fuckload of people on an Osprey.
Okay, that's fine and dandy, but again, like,
Oh,
so,
and they can be refueled in air. So that extends the range even further. And they're capable of vertical takeoff and landing, so they don't need runways.
mhm.
And we have fuckloads of them. There were like 30 of them on the ship I was on. And that's just that one ship. Like you can move you can move quite a bit of people, and they have everything they need to set up the logistic operations they need to do it. And if they fucking do it through Pakistan, you know, kind of go from there. I mean, it's doable. It's very fucking doable. Maybe this is why I need to be the Secretary of Defense. Be like, no, President Quack, we're not paying these people fucking ransom. I got a plan.
So
Like fucking Dutch Vanderlyn. I have a plan. And all of these fucking amphibious ships are all set up to be temporary refugee places. Can move a fuckload of people that way.
okay, so you said it has a nautical range of what?
Over like, I don't know, I think it was like fucking, yeah, it's 1,011 miles. Right?
Okay.
Now,
Well,
and
the reason I'm asking
now
is
I'm
because,
I'm talking about moving people from Afghanistan to an FOB in Pakistan.
well, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Is like I found like a thing that draws a circle for however many miles, and I just looked, like I just put it in and fucking. Like literally the entire country of Pakistan is in that 1,000 fucking nautical.
Yeah,
range.
well, that's why I'm saying we set up an FOB.
Right.
So the forward operating base is gonna be, from what I can see, it looks like it's maybe about 100 miles west of the or east of the fucking border, fucking 50 to 100 miles east of the border, fucking. Quetta, I think is how you say it. Or that wouldn't be a bad spot for an FOB because we could send military forces from there, to cover the fucking refugees as they leave on foot or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they could fucking, like, if the refugees leave on foot and we don't send birds in there to get them, like that's a pretty good fucking place for them to go, and we can deploy military forces from there, you know, to facilitate them coming out of there, like land forces.
Right.
And there's highways and roads that can be used to move refugees closer to the water or closer to other airports and bases around there. It can be done. They just have to have the balls to do it. I know that we have a military that is perfectly fucking willing to do it. I know we have allies in Pakistan that are perfectly fucking willing to do it. We have UN forces in Pakistan as well. It just comes down to them, you know, comes down to them being motivated to do it. Another place where I would possibly see as a good spot for an FOB. The thing I don't like about it is its close proximity to Iran. But Nakkundi is about 100 miles east of Iran and about 50 miles south of Afghanistan. Like situated right above the RCD lake. Along the highway. I think that would be an okay spot too. Other than the thing I don't like about it is that area opens up and invites a lot of harassment from Iran's navy.
Yeah.
But usually,
But let's be real here, though. If we're rolling up in there, fucking, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some fucking Navy chilling off the coast of fucking.
I mean,
Pakistan and fucking India.
I mean, we constantly already have Navy chilling out over there. I mean, we have an entire fleet that's dedicated to that region.
Right.
But Iranian vessels still attempt to fucking harass coalition Navy forces.
Yeah, well, you can harass all you want until your ass is no fucking sinking in the goddamn water.
Yeah, well, part of the problem is because of our weak commander-in-chief and his weak policies, our Navy's not going to be able to shoot first.
True.
That being said, the first shot the Iranians take will be probably the last.
That'll be the day that they regret being born.
I don't know.
Because let's be real here. Let's be real here, right? Out of all of the military branches, I am almost certain that the Navy is the one just itching the fucking most.
Well, out of all the branches,
they're just itching for that fucking fight, dude.
Out of all the branches, the Navy is the best branch, or the Navy is the branch that is the most capable of just waging a war by itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like, I don't think people realize, like, most people when they think of the Navy, they just think you guys are just some bitches on boats. Like, I don't think they realize, like, you motherfuckers rule every aspect of military. You guys rule the fucking sea, the air, and the fucking land. Because let's be real here. I have seen more impressive shit from Navy pilots than Air Force pilots.
Well, the Navy also has more aircraft than the Air Force.
Right. Like, when I think of the Air Force, honestly, I don't even think of, like, fighter jets. I think of fucking bitches in an air-conditioned room flying a drone.
I mean, that's mostly what the Air Force is these days.
Like,
I mean, yeah,
I swear to...
they do have some good fucking fighter jet stuff going on, but I will remind you that the Blue Angels are all Navy pilots. Just saying.
Right. That's exactly my point, though. Is it's like the Nate, and then look at the ground game, dude.
You know, the Air Force goes to the Navy's fucking Top Gun pilot program to learn how to fucking dogfight.
Right.
And yeah, the ground force, I mean, you want to be real technical about it, the fucking Marine Corps is a department of the Navy.
True.
That leaves the Navy with the most aggressive fighting force on the face of this fucking planet.
Uh-huh.
They're not the smartest, but they are eager for a fight.
I still can never get over the literal fact, like the actual fact that when it comes to the world's leading air forces, we have 2 of them. Like,
Yep.
that fact alone still fucking makes me laugh my ass off, because it's such a stupid fact, but it's a
And-
hilarious fact that we are so fucking, like, we spend so much money on the military that we have the 2 biggest air forces in the world.
Well, if we get a better president than Biden, you know, what with Space Force, we might have 3.
Yeah, no shit, though.
But yeah, fucking... I mean, the Air Force does have some cool toys, but...
Oh, yeah, well, sure,
But-
don't get me wrong.
But when I look at their arsenal versus the fucking Navy's arsenal, like, yeah, the Air Force has the ICBMs,
Mhm.
and they can shoot, like, some guy sitting in a bunker in fucking, like, South Dakota can, like, hit anybody in the world with a nuke.
Right.
But the problem with that is that everybody knows where our ICBM bases are.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where our nuclear submarines are.
Very true.
Any body of water that is, you know, has any way of navigating to any of the bigger oceans,
Mhm.
including but not limited to the Arabian Gulf or the Mediterranean Sea or the Gulf of Mexico or the South China Sea or anything like that.
Mhm.
The Arctic Circle, the fucking Southern Ocean around Antarctica,
The Antarctic Circle.
and fucking anywhere, basically, that they could shoot a nuke from. And nobody's gonna be looking for a nuke coming from fucking Antarctica. And they don't even have to really be in the ocean. They can bust out through the fucking ice.
Mhm.
And mind you, the sheer fucking payload that these nuclear subs carry.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have your fucking mind boggled looking into that.
So, okay, you having been Navy, you should probably be able to answer this. So when like, okay, so in the instances of like the Mediterranean Sea, and I guess yeah, even the Red Sea, like these do you guys have to go through the straits, right? Like the Strait of Gibraltar and like the
Yeah,
Suez Canal and all that.
yeah.
Like, how does that work?
I've
Isn't that supposed to?
I've personally helmed the ship through the Strait of Hormuz.
Where is that?
It's fucking it's the one going from the Gulf of Aden into the Red Sea,
Uh.
I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. I found it. Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or it's the one going into the Persian Gulf. I forget. I think it's the one
What-
going into the Red Sea.
What did you call it
though.
again?
The Strait of Hormuz.
It's not
Um,
that. This one. Let me see.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, no, yeah, you had it right.
no, it's the one going through the fucking Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. Yeah, and that's like that particular strait of waters is contested by Iran and the UAE, which is why it was such a big deal. My ship was the first ship in like 15 years to go through that strait during the day. But how it's supposed to work is there's supposed to be like a portion of a nautical mile or two in the center that's supposed to be international water. But you have to follow that really fucking carefully, because if you go into Iran's waters, they will shoot at you. Or that's what they claim.
Right.
And Iran is constantly trying to move that fucking line.
Yeah, fucking figure. But so anyway, what I was gonna ask though is like, so going through like the major like canals and stuff like the Suez Canal and like the Strait of Gibraltar and like that, like how does that work, considering like the majority of the ships going through those canals are like cargo ships and shit, right?
Yeah,
so like
they
do you have to like do you
Go
you just roll next to a fucking cargo ship? Like
Yeah, I mean it kind of works just like driving on a highway would.
Huh.
Like everybody has their own little area that they're supposed to be in order to like not hit the other people. And yeah, it kind of works like that. And on the sea, like you do have maritime navigation rules and like right of way and shit like that you have to adhere to.
So then, like, so then that leaves another question then. If that's the case, then when we're trying to get like a submarine through there, does that submarine technically have to declare itself?
Submarines don't surface on that side of the world. So no.
So nobody knows where they're at.
Nope.
So real shit. Like
Even with the exception of a handful of people, even the people on the submarine don't know where the fuck they're at.
Huh.
Like, as soon as they pass the fucking San Clemente Bay, they fucking set MCON 4 and they fuck off. And they disappear for several months at a time. And they don't really get any contact with anybody back home unless they set port. Like, they will surface to pull into a port. But beyond that, like, the majority of their time is going to be spent underwater, and the majority of their time underwater, they are moving very fucking slow, and they are not trying to be detected. They're legit, trying to be as covert as possible unless they, have to not be.
So, so then, like, when a submarine moves through one of those canals, they just fucking just be doing that shit. Like, they don't let nobody know.
No, why would they? Are we gonna tell Iran we're moving a nuclear sub right by their country? Like, would you?
Okay, that one, no. But I was more referring to like the Suez Canal and the Strait of Gibraltar, where it's a major shipping lane, and not a contested fucking war area.
The canals are a little bit different.
Like that was more of what I was coming at.
Well,
like obviously, if you're pulling up to somebody that you don't agree with, you're not gonna fucking tell them.
Well,
like we're not gonna tell China that we have like 12 fucking submarines parked on the fucking East Coast. You know what I mean?
Well, we wouldn't move a sub through the fucking we wouldn't move a sub through the Suez Canal.
So what? So do subs have to do the ye old routes of fucking going around the bottom of Africa and shit like that?
No, that sub would just fucking like if we had a sub over there, it would just chill out in the fucking Red Sea and fucking if we really needed another sub over there, we have more subs in the Mediterranean. Like we have a big ass fucking base in Rota, Spain.
Right. No, and I know that, but my point. Okay, so okay. Okay, how about this? I'll throw this out here. There is a submarine leaving Rota, Spain, and is going to sit in the Gulf of Aden, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't do that. They 9 times out of 10 they wouldn't do that.
Why?
Because the reason you'd sit in the fucking Red Sea is so that you can launch a fucking ballistic strike on basically Iran or Iraq or Syria.
Okay, you're putting too much thought into it.
I'm really not. Like that's the way it is. They're not gonna have a reason to go to the Red Sea. They're not gonna have a reason to go through that canal. Because we're gonna have subs, we're gonna have subs from another fleet over there already. Like that's why we have like 8 fleets. As for going through the fucking canal, another reason why you wouldn't take a submarine through the canal like that, because of how the canals move water, through dams and shit. It would have to be surfaced for that, and that just leaves opportunity for other countries to come take pictures of our subs. Which you don't want because through that they can garner a design.
Okay, then how about this? Okay, say that there's a sub off of the fucking coast of Somalia, right? And it needed to go to Rota for maintenance. How would it get there?
It wouldn't go to Rota for maintenance. It would go to it would go to a closer country that's allied. If it was like urgent fucking maintenance, it'd go to one of our countries that's allied with us that's nearby. And they wouldn't even fucking tell the country why that sub's pulling into port. They'd just be like, we need to pull in here. And then they do.
What about if it's off the coast of Egypt then? Like let's say it's in the Red Sea, right next to Egypt, but it has to go to Rota for the maintenance. Like, has to. How would it get there?
It wouldn't.
They would just leave it there then. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, I'm telling you they would go somewhere else.
So you're telling me there is absolutely zero, like 100% zero fucking, like no fucking submarines will ever go through a fucking canal.
Not ours. At least not our nuclear ones. And not our ballistic missile ones. No. What's
not even like the Panama Canal?
What's more likely to happen is we have ships in our Maritime Sea Lift Command. We have ships that are specifically designed to repair submarines. So if they're not going to pull into a port, if it's so fucking big that they'd absolutely have to go back to a U.S. Navy base, they would bring one of these fucking repair ships over there. They've probably even got them over there on standby. Yeah, no. Fucking Maritime Sea Lift Command is truly an amazing and remarkable thing.
No, I'm just saying, geez, because it's just like, it's crazy to think that, like, our military is just so fuck you to a canal.
Well,
they have prepared for every possible fucking, like...
They can't let one of those submarines go through that canal. Because it's going to turn that submarine into a giant fucking target. Like, there will be no point in time when that submarine is easier to attack. There's
No,
no.
look,
Like
I'm not-
if someone
understand-
shoots
I
a missile
understand
at
the
it, if someone shoots a missile at it, there's nowhere for it to go.
Right, no, and I get that. Like, I'm not saying I don't understand why. It's just it amazes me that like they've thought of everything. You know what I mean? Like that's what amazes me. It's just that like they have put so much thought into it that like literally every possible situation that I could think of to try to force them to go through a canal, you're just like, yeah, no, we've thought of that.
Well,
Like-
yeah, I
like
mean,
drawing
they've probably even thought of shit that I don't know about. Like, there's people who get paid to do nothing but sit around and think of this shit. Like, that's all they do. But I did want to fucking take just a brief moment to remark at just how truly incredible of a thing the Maritime Sea Lift Command is.
No, go ahead.
Because, submarine needs repaired? They got the logistics to do that. You need mail? They got the logistics to do that. You need supplies? They got you. You know?
Yeah, that does beg another question. So
if you've got a friend in the Navy, right, and you like mail him a care package, best case scenario, that care package will be in his hands within like fucking 9 days.
Damn.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I remember my high school did a whole thing for that. They did like a whole thing where so what it was is if you made a care package for a soldier, for every care package you made, the school would basically knock off unexcused absences, right?
Well, that's really cool of your school to do, because let me tell you, fucking those care packages really fucking helped when we were over there.
Homie, I watched, and I shit you not, dude. I watched a kid pull up with a fucking budget, not a U-Haul, a budget truck. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
That
like the
doesn't
ones
tell
that
that doesn't tell me the size, because U-Haul has some pretty fucking big trucks too.
Okay, it's basically the size right before you need a CDL.
Oh yeah.
Like, and like him and his like whole friend group, fucking, I don't know, couldn't tell you where the money came from, but these fucking kids made like 200 fucking care packages, and they were big. Like they were like the boxes that have like a place for you to put a rod so you can hang clothes, like those size boxes.
Yeah.
There were like 200 of them fucking things, and they were heavy.
Oh, those care packages that we got when I was over there, like, I would have times when I can't fucking shower. Like, I just don't have time.
Yeah, the baby wipes.
And or times when I just can't get food. Or sometimes there just be just a little thing that I crave.
Right.
I'm like, man, I really could use this special flavor of fucking Doritos that we don't get out here.
Right.
And it would fucking make my day when I opened up one of them care packages and fucking saw that shit in there, and I'm just like, yes.
So I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I can actually remember exactly what I put in the one that I made, because I decided to make one.
When was this, by the way?
Oh man, this would have been 2014.
Oh, I was deployed then. I might have. One of us might have gotten one of your care packages.
So, but I can remember what I put in it. But I made it not because I needed the absence, because I didn't give a fuck about whether or not I had unexcused absences. I did it because on top of what the school was offering, my local chapter of the Sons of American Legion, which I was a part of, fucking call me whatever you want for that, but my local chapter of the Sons of American Legion also said that they would give us a gift card to the movie theater, right? And in 2014, when Netflix was still kind of a newer thing, movie theaters were still a go-to, you know?
They
So
still
me and my
are
brother-
here.
So me and my brother both were like, fucking, like, shit, we'll fucking do that, get some fucking gift cards and go see some movies, you know?
Fuck yeah.
So this is what I put in it, right? Me and my brother did different, but I remember exactly what I did. I did 2, not the little bag fucking things, but like boxes of baby wipes, right? That one I did because of the internet, because I had read something that like baby wipes are like a super fucking go-to for care packages.
Oh yeah.
But
They
I did
really help
baby
too.
So I did 2 boxes of baby wipes, and those boxes are expensive. They're like $20 each. So I did 2 of those. I did I think I grabbed like 6 fucking bags of beef jerky. I did 2 of the those little fucking like things of Kool-Aid that makes like 3 or 4 gallons. You know what I'm talking? Just the the
Yeah.
regular things of Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Did 2 of those, different flavors. I did a couple of bags of chips, right? Like big bags, like the ones that are like $2.50.
Yeah.
Like two or 3 of those. Like, and then I did socks, because I heard like socks are another thing that are like go-tos for those care packages, because you guys fucking run through socks like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, we do.
So I did like I bought like a 10-pack of those, threw those in there. Did bought the one size fits all basically ones.
Yeah.
And then I did like 3 things of sunscreen. And then I did like a few deodorants, some body washes and stuff like that, and then I did 2 boxes of envelopes, 2 things of paper, a pack of pens, and I forget how much is in each roll. I think if I remember right, it's like 250 stamps in the roll, and I did a roll of stamps. Seal that fucker up and sent her off.
Yeah, that's the makings of a good care package right there. That covers all the fucking boxes.
So
I remember one care package I opened, and this one was particularly remarkable. I had not had anything to eat for like 3 days straight, and I got this yeah, it was bad. I got this fucking care package, and one of the things that this care package had was like one of the biggest bags of beef jerky I had ever laid eyes upon. Like, I have no idea where they even got it. But
yeah, like the thing for the beef jerky for me was like, I was thinking about like what could I send them that wouldn't go bad easily?
Well, yeah, and
beef
that's
jerky
perfect.
does go bad. Beef jerky does go bad, but like it takes a fucking certain environment, and like it takes time and like a lot more time and shit, So I was like, I was thinking about that. I was like, I remember my fucking stoned ass sitting at the fucking 7-Eleven just staring at all the fucking snacks, and I'm just like beef jerky would probably be a fucking good idea. And like I said, I grabbed like 6 of those fucking things, and I bought like the Jack Links one, so I got like the good shit too.
The care package that I opened had 2 big bags of beef jerky, and now these bags were about the size of like potato chip bags.
Ooh, nice.
Like they were giant bags. I'm like, I've never seen a bag of beef jerky like that in the stores. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
That's like a Costco thing.
It had 6 cans of Pringles.
Oh, okay.
It had some Q-tips. like 2 sticks of deodorant, 4 packs of baby wipes, and then a fuckload of, like, every space of the box that could be filled in was filled in with, like, Halloween candy.
Nice.
And I had to, like, dig through the Halloween candy to find all this shit. And I was just like, yes. And I
literally like a candy store.
Well, dude, one of my happiest moments stand and watch on deployment, because at this point in deployment, I was on 4 hours on, 4 hours off watch rotation. And if that 4 hours off happened during the day, I'd have to go, like, you know, do my job. So that 4 hours, like, I'd have to go, like, paint something or do maintenance or whatever.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that the people on watch aren't, like, that's not their job?
No, that is in addition to their job.
They just pluck assholes and go, yeah, you're on watch.
Yep. So here's how my work day was going at about that point, right? So let's just go ahead and let's say, all right, so we'll say I got sleep the night before. Or maybe we didn't. Maybe we'll just ignore the night before. I've got to pick some arbitrary time to start with, though. So we'll say I have the 2 to 4 watch. Or the 2 to 8 or whatever. 4 to 8. I don't know. Yeah. So 4 o'clock in the fucking morning, I get on watch. And, 3:30, because, you know, we have to show up a half hour early for what the fuck ever reason. So 3:30 in the morning, I get on watch, and I stand that watch. And that watch consists of, at that particular time, manning the helm of the ship for an hour. And then I get off the helm of the ship, and I stand by the fucking phone. And then I go away from the phone and I stand on the forward lookout, which is like outside on top of the bridge. And then I go from the forward lookout to the aft lookout, which is like behind the ship, but also outside. And then I go back to driving the ship. And every hour I rotate to a different fucking thing.
That just sounds so unnecessary.
And then, well, that rotating every hour is to keep people awake and alert.
Yeah, you know what else keeps people awake and alert? A gunshot.
That would also be unnecessary.
Yeah, but it'd probably save time.
So basically from there, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I go to muster, where the whole division gets together, and we're divvied out with our fucking tasks of what we're gonna do for the day. Like, you have life preserver maintenance. I'm like, okay.
Is that really a thing?
Yes. Well,
you don't just buy new ones?
No. Like, there are actual, like there's emergency lighting and stuff that is attached to the life preservers, and you have to make sure all that shit works.
You know, now you like say it that way, it does actually kind of make sense.
You know, you have to make sure the batteries are charged, the fucking lamp works, the fucking there's no tears or anything in the vests, and that everything has like good legible stamps on it that can be read. And so you'd go through like 50 or 60 of these, and then you hear that there's fucking early lunch for watch reliefs. Well, you would go, but you can't because you're stuck doing this maintenance. So you go from doing this maintenance to being back on watch at like around noon. And then you do that same watch rotation that I described. Then 10 o'clock at night, you're off.
Yeah.
or 8. No, it's actually 8 o'clock at night. You're off. So now you have to decide. And this is a very important decision because you only have 4 hours in between you getting off a watch and going back on watch. So you have to decide, do I want to do my laundry? Do I want to sleep? Do I want to hang out with my friends and chill in the berthing? Or do I want to eat? Or laundry or whatever. You can't do all of them. You have to pick one.
Right.
Because you just don't have time. So then you pick what you're going to do. We'll go ahead and say that I decided that I'm going to do my laundry because, you know, I only have 3 sets of coveralls. So the laundry has to get done like every other day.
Right.
So I do my laundry, and then while I'm doing laundry, I sit down and play video games on my PlayStation Vita. Because I have to sit there and actually watch my laundry, or it will get stolen.
So they will just yoink your shit like that?
They will either steal it or they will throw it overboard if you don't attend to it. You won't see it again. I don't know where it goes, but you won't see it again.
Huh.
So, you know, come midnight, I'm back on watch. So from midnight to 4. Then I get off of watch. I take a couple hour nap. I go to fucking muster at 8 o'clock in the morning and I start it all over again.
Right.
So having that fucking beef jerky to chew on while I am standing on the fucking fantail staring out into the horizon looking for anything that I can find just out of sheer boredom. Like, I'll report sometimes it got to the point that I was reporting fucking birds. Like, combat aft lookout. Go for combat. Yeah, we have a air contact over here at about position angle 3, bearing 260. Roger that, aft lookout. Can you give me a description of that contact? We're not seeing anything on radar here. Yeah, the surface contact appears to have white wings and be of the avian variety. Over. And then the fucking officer of the deck would get pissed off and get on the fucking comms and be like, you gotta maintain professionalism. The only there's only 2 contacts that I could report that would scare the shit out of everybody.
And what's that?
So I never reported them unless I saw them.
Well,
And
what is it?
That is missiles firing
Uh-huh.
or a submarine.
Ah.
And they're so scared of because okay, submarines will pick up your communications.
Uh-huh.
Like, you have sound powered phones that are plugged in like through cable. It's not even wireless.
Uh-huh.
But because of their ability to hear shit in the water, there is a potential that they could still hear what you're saying.
Huh.
So you don't report it as a submarine. You report it as like a feather in the water or whatever stupid code they came up with for that particular thing that time.
Gotcha.
You're like, yeah, we got a feather in the water at 090, about 3 nautical miles out. And you don't necessarily know the exact distance. You just have to give an estimation based off of the information in front of you.
Right.
Although once you get good at it, you'll be able to determine distance. And
I was gonna ask like how you're like coming up with this shit because it's like I always wondered like do they make you like learn a compass and like Like, do they have like is there like a screen in front of you? Like, is it like I
Um,
never understood like how it works. Like,
th-
are you just basically fucking? Are you just bullshitting and hope they fucking know what you're talking about?
no, there is a compass on the watch stations for you to reference to.
Uh-huh.
And the when I say like 260,
Uh-huh.
if you think about degrees on a clock,
Right.
000 is always going to be straight ahead, no matter if
Yeah.
we are headed north or south or east or west or whatever.
Right.
Like you have your true heading and then you have your relative heading.
Right. Right.
So how
Like,
you
I
would
know how a compass works, dog.
so well a lot of people don't. So I'm not just saying
I
this
was
for
in
you.
Boy Scouts.
I'm not just saying this for you. Okay.
I know. I had to give you some shit
Because
it's
there's other
like-
people.
like,
There's other people gonna be tuning into this at some point.
I know. I
So-
just had to give you some shit because it totally sounds like you're just mansplaining the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
So I had to give you a little bit of shit.
Let Daddy here tell you a story.
Sit down, boy, and let Papa Bear tell you.
So you have your true bearing and you have your relative bearing, and and then your position angles are if you could imagine, say, like the surface of the water in front of you. If you hold out your hand and your pinky finger is along the like where the horizon, where the water meets the sky, like your hand is there, each of those gaps in between your fingers is going to be a position angle.
Right.
So that kind of gives you an idea what like an aircraft is doing.
Right.
So like if you were reporting an aircraft, a way of reporting that would be like you'd identify the station you're broadcasting from and where you're broadcasting to, or vice versa, and then you'd be like, yeah, we have a air contact at bearing 275, about 4.5 nautical miles out, position angle 4, headed port to starboard. So you'd tell them what the bearing is, what the position angle is, if it is moving, what direction it is going, and then, if possible, you would even describe like the speed or manner in which it's doing it. Like a low, slow flyer has a lot more, or has a lot different significance than like a high, fast flyer would.
Right.
So then, and they will look at the radar and they will concur that they see that target. And then a lot of the time they see it before you do. You're out there in case either they don't see it or in case like radar fails or something. So they're always going to have people like legit standing out on the decks watching, just like they did in the pirate days. So then the other thing, like when you're doing a surface contact, you don't use position angles. And the distance becomes a lot easier to scale the more you do it. And it got to the point that I was dead on with it. Like I would tell them, like I had a buddy who I'm still friends with and I still talk to, who was the operations guy working in combat. And he'd be like, "Damn, dude, you're dead on." And so how that would go is you would you describe the bearing, the distance, and then you will give details about what you see. So it'd be like at bearing 050, we have a fishing boat about 5.5 nautical miles out, appears to be heading forward to aft. And then they can take whatever actions they take if they need to take any. Sometimes
I've seen a few videos where it shows like fishing boats that get like hailed by the Navy and shit.
yeah, if they get within a mile and a half of the ship, the Navy will start hailing them. At least my ship. And
Okay, I have a very stupid question.
yeah,
What does the other S stand for in the USS? Like, does it just mean like U.S. ship, like United States ship?
I think it does. I don't know. I've never really looked into that.
Because like well, the reason I ask is because like I know what HMS means.
Yeah.
Like, because HMS does mean it means Her Majesty's ship.
Yeah, I think USS is United States ship. That's what I've always thought it was, but I don't know for sure. I've never looked into it. That's just kind of something that I accepted. Now, now when one of those ships is hailing you, they're not going to address themselves that way.
Yeah, it does. It just means United States ship.
They're either going to address themselves.
It just sounds so wrong. Like it does. Like in my head, it sounds wrong. It doesn't sound like it should be United States ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when they're hailing you, they're not going to call themselves like the USS Abraham Lincoln or the USS Bonhomme Richard. Like Bonhomme Richard is like they're going to be like, surface vessel at our 150. This is Coalition Warship 6 hailing you on Channel 11. Divert your course or we will be forced to take defensive measures. Or some shit like that.
Well, now that makes me think all the videos I've seen are fake.
Oh, different warships have different verbiage, but and it also
like literally I can like tell you word for word the latest one that I've seen what they said.
Yeah, what'd they say?
They did the numbers like you just said, right? Like they did that. They were like, this is the USS, God, it started with an N. But they were like, this is United States warship fucking, and they were like hailing you on open channel 9. But I specifically remember they said it was like they were like this is warship USS, the name. I forgot exactly what the name was, but it's like it started with an N.
In American waters, they could do that sometimes, but in foreign waters like the Arabian Gulf, you don't do that for OPSEC reasons.
Is that so? Okay, so where does the coalition part come from?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
You guys made
that's just some shit they were doing. Like, I don't know. They just did it. Like, maybe it's got to do with the fact that we're an amphibious warship and we're being seen as a carrier. So, maybe it could have been due to the fact that we had foreign military people on our ship.
Yeah, because weren't you were on one of those, like,
I was on an amphibious assault ship, which is why I know so much about amphibious assault ships.
Yeah, I remember you showed it to me, though, one day. I can't remember what you are.
I was on the USS Macon Island. LHD-8.
Yeah, that's the part I remember was the LHD-8. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, you never told me the name, but yeah. I remember, though, it was on a conversation we had after stream, like one of our, post Kekfest fucking conversations. And, we had ended it because it was already like 4 hours in, and we ended it, but me and you were still fucking getting at it because like I was asking you a bunch of questions like I am like right now, and dude, I swear to God, we sat there for like 3 hours, and you just fucking like you literally told me like almost every little fucking thing about that shit.
Dude, well, you know how I was talking about they could house some of the refugees? on the amphibious assault ships. How that would work is they would set up like cots in the hangar bay. And they can house hundreds of people in the hangar bay, if not thousands. And they actually keep supplies on the ship for refugees, like on the ship. Like they have food, blankets, hygiene things.
Can you really call the MREs that they're gonna pass out to those poor people?
No,
food?
they have no bullshit food. And
like really?
Yeah, like they'll get the same food we get. And we don't eat MREs on the ship unless we're in a chemical warfare environment.
Oh.
So they
I figured you guys had like regular food too, but I figured like they just, like the army, when you're out there, you just, eat what they give you, and if they give you a fucking MRE, you eat the MRE.
I mean, you eat what they give you, but they have people cook what they give us. So like we're limited in the supplies that we have, but there are people that actually cook it. Like
don't get me wrong. Like I do know that because like I watched a Vice documentary where they went on a ship.
Yeah, I've seen that
like
same.
the one...
I've seen that same documentary. Unfortunately, they were not subject to the food we usually get.
Oh, did they see? Oh, so they saw the stunt food, huh?
Yeah, they saw the food that we fucking we break out when. Well, there are a couple of times on deployment when the food is really good, and that is either right after the supplies come in, and they have like everything they need to do all the bougie shit they want to do, or you're in the officers' mess, or you are about.
So the officers don't eat the same food as the enlisteds?
Well, they eat the same food. They just get higher quality ingredients. And it's fresher.
So what? You guys get the fucking duck eggs made by some asshole in the middle of Kansas named Bill, and they get the goddamn cage-free, fucking free range.
Well, they also get, or if they get the exact same thing, they get a more experienced person to cook that thing that's better at doing it.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of. The other time when we get really good food and when the food's like really fucking good is either during a holiday or we're about to get bad news. Like you're gonna wake up and like people who have been there long enough are already gonna know, but like somebody who just got to the ship is not. And you're gonna be there and you're like, man, we get steak and lobster and crab legs. Like, wow. And it's all fresh as fuck and it's tasty. At least relatively speaking compared to, what you've been getting. The steak isn't the steak isn't the best, and you will eat it covered in A1 steak sauce. But it is a lot better than that same chicken fried fucking patty that you've been getting the last 5 days in a row because the supplies aren't there.
So, I got another question while you were saying all that. You said the officers have their own shit, right? They have their own little mess hall.
Yeah, and so do enlisted personnel E7 and above.
Okay, you just answered my question.
So there are 3 different.
Because I was gonna ask if NCOs are part of that officers mess or if they just stay with the enlisted.
NCOs aren't. But basically, so kind of how the Navy's broken up is you got E1 through E6.
Okay.
And that is your seaman recruit, seaman apprentice, seaman, and third, second, and first class petty officer. And all those guys are gonna be eating in the shitty fucking enlisted mess deck.
Yeah, it's not until you're a chief petty officer, right?
Chief petty officer. Or senior chief petty officer or master chief petty officer, they have their own little section of the ship called the chief's mess.
Cool.
And not only you're not even allowed to set foot in there unless you're on like some official business, unless you're a chief.
Right.
Like, you can't just walk in there without a reason.
Right.
And it better be a damn good one, too. Like, I
Right.
need to do maintenance on this.
Sir, if I don't touch that thing right now, you will fucking die.
Oh, you don't call him sir, but like, oh, hey, shipmate, fuck are you doing in the chief's mess? Senior chief, I need to do maintenance on the phone system in here. Oh, okay. And if you didn't have a good reason, you're gonna have a whole room full of pissed off chiefs that are gonna fucking come after you. And then they're gonna come after your chief, and then your chief's gonna come after you again later on.
You know,
And-
I just recently watched a YouTube video where they broke down all the like ranks and shit of like all the military.
Well, I could do that for the Navy at least.
Well, no, I just think the reason I was bringing it up.
I was
is 'cause
just saying,
gonna
I
say,
could
like,
probably do that better than the YouTube video, but go on.
Well, like what I mean by breakdown is like they showed like, you know, what each rank looks like, and like
Oh,
the name, you know, like they didn't go like, oh, this person has this much power, this person, you know what I mean, like
oh,
that.
I
Like,
can
they
tell. I can tell you exactly what all the ranks do if you want to know.
I don't really have time for that, to be real with you, because that's one of those 5-hour conversations. But point was though is like I thought the video was interesting because I was like real shit, like outside of like just the name itself, I thought it was all the same. Like I knew like in the Navy they do like the seamen's, and they do like the chief petty officers and the petty officers, and you know, I know they do like in the Air Force they do the airmen, and then you know, but like I thought like the logos were the same. I thought like the where in the position of like of the ranks they are, because like, you know, for instance, the whole fucking like private first class thing, how like the Marines have their private first class is a lot later than the Army.
Yeah, some of
in the
them even
ranks, you know, shit like that.
some of them even get different uniforms. Like
Yeah, like see, they didn't explain that.
Li-
They didn't explain that. In the
like
video,
like
but,
like some of the interesting uniform things that a lot of civilians don't know.
Uh-huh.
Like in the Navy, senior chiefs get basically officer uniforms, but they put their enlisted ranks on them.
huh.
And if there's another thing is if you see a guy with gold stripes, it means he has been in for longer than 12 years and has not gotten in any trouble. If
Like
you
like literally nothing.
like hadn't gotten in any trouble, hadn't been put on report or anything like that, like,
So he's the dude sucking the fucking sergeant's dong.
or he's just not getting in trouble, one or the other.
Gotcha.
But he hasn't been to NJP or anything like that. Like, you can get in a little bit of trouble, but like not like super documented trouble.
Right.
Anybody who's been in the Navy longer than 12 years with red stripes has gotten in trouble at some point. So their rank will show up in red rather than gold.
Huh.
And the on every military branch, regardless of what it is, and this is for enlisted people only, those on the dress uniforms, those stripes on the bottom of the sleeves, each one of those stripes is called a hash, like one of those vertical or diagonal stripes.
Right.
And each one of those stripes denotes 4 years of service.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you can tell how long somebody has been in. And the Marines have a little thing too, where once if you look at their uniforms, like once they become an NCO, they get to put like a red stripe on their dress uniform, on their pants.
Mhm.
And then I think once, I forget what rank it was, but once they've advanced beyond a certain rank, I think that stripe gets like a gold stripe down the middle of it.
Yeah, I've seen what you're talking about.
But I forget what rank that was. But I like that's some little nuanced shit that civilians don't notice that we see like instantly.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
know,
how a lot of stolen valor people get caught up. You know, they put a lot of that shit on the uniform thinking it looks cool or it'll make them look like they have more authority or whatever. But like,
yeah,
like
and then you go and test them, like you test them low key as fuck because they don't realize it's a test. But you're gonna be like, yeah, so how long were you in? Looking at those fucking things on their fucking sleeves or the pants, like you just said, and you're gonna know exactly how long they've been in because of their fucking shit, or at least a good guess. And they're just gonna blurt a fucking number out to sound cool.
or when they just do shit that like doesn't match at all. Like I've seen one, and I've seen this in person, where there is a guy who and he was impersonating a Navy commander, and
A commander?
a commander.
Okay, now if I remember this fucking video correctly, isn't that like of the highest shit before you get like into the generals?
No, a commander would be the equivalent to any other branch, just lieutenant colonel.
Okay.
It's pretty high though. And he had service stripes on the bottom of his sleeves, the hashes.
Uh-huh.
Even if an officer was prior enlisted, you don't wear those hashes as an officer. You don't get those.
Uh,
And I just looked at this guy and I'm like, what the fuck?
well, you know what those people do is all they do is they go to the nearest fucking, you know, military surplus store, find one that fits, and then fucking, you know, they make a story.
They buy a bunch of shit and start sewing it on, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to go up and talk to that guy. He had some pretty interesting stories.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I mean, none of them were true. But in the world of Hollywood, they would have been pretty interesting. Like
if he was writing a script.
Like, he cross-transferred over from the army, and that's how he got his hash marks.
Wait,
And-
does that not happen?
No.
People don't cross transfer.
I mean, they cross-transfer, but, like, you don't get special uniform exemptions because you cross-transfer. Like, you don't get to wear... Like, say you were an Army infantry and you had that blue epaulette cord that they wear under their shoulder.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to go join the Navy. Well, that blue epaulette cord is an Army infantry thing. You don't get to wear that in the Navy.
So, like, if you showed up to work with that thing on, like, you would just get fucking roasted.
Yeah. You might not even make it through the gate. Now, the things that'll cross over are going to be your ribbon rack. That will cross over. Like any medals you've earned. Some of them might change. But...
Right.
Cause like there are like ones that you can only earn in the Army, but like the Navy has like the same medal, but like it looks different. So it might get transferred into that version of the medal, but beyond that, like you're not gonna lose your decorations that you've earned. But like your unit specific stuff, like, oh, you used to be a Green Beret and then you cross transferred over to the Marines. Yeah, you're not wearing that Green Beret anymore. At least not with your active unit. Like if you get out as a veteran and you decide to wear that Green Beret, that's something different.
Right.
Although you're probably not going to do that because wearing a Green Beret with a fucking Marine Corps dress blue uniform would look dumb.
Not only would it look dumb, but any fucking veteran would look at you and think you're a fucking stolen valor.
Oh yeah. Well, no self-respecting Green Beret would do that.
Okay, but here's my thing though. Why would that Green Beret not wear his army dress uniform?
I mean, he could.
Like, I'm not trying to poke a hole. Like, I got what you were trying to get at, you know. But I'm just saying, like, any smart person would just go, oh yeah, those are my Marine ones. I should probably put on my Army ones that match the Army thing that I'm wearing.
But if he had that much pride in the Army thing that he wanted to pick that uniform, he wouldn't have crossed out of the Army.
I mean, not necessarily.
Most people, I say most because I have known a couple who have crossed over. Most people have a tendency to stay with whatever branch they get.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it, right, is like okay, for instance, I can name a situation, right? Is it's like if I'm in the Army, right, and my
You gotta
job
talk into the mic.
Sorry, if I'm in the Army, right, and my job is like in communications, right? So like maybe I'm the asshole that fixes phones, right? If I'm fixing phones for the Army for $20,000 a year, I don't know what fucking Army salaries are like, but you know, so I'm just gonna throw that number out there. So yeah, say
I know where you're going.
right,
That you're gonna you're gonna cross into the other branch to get paid more.
yes.
That doesn't happen.
What you mean?
Everybody in the military gets paid the same regardless of how much or how little they do.
Really?
Yeah. So that rank is how much you're getting paid. If you're an E4 in the Army, you're getting the same as an E4 in the Navy. If you're an E4 that is forward deployed on the fucking front lines of Afghanistan getting shot at, you're getting the same as that E4 in the Air Force sitting in a fucking air-conditioned room pushing buttons.
Huh.
I mean, they have little pay bonuses that come from different things. Like, you might get hazard pay, which is like $100 a month more.
So then why the fuck would anybody switch?
The big reason, I guess, why people would switch is maybe, like, I've known people who have switched from the Army to the Navy because they've wanted a change in scenery. I've known people who have switched from the Army to the Marine Corps because the Marine Corps takes a lot more pride in itself, and, you know, they kind of want to be a part of that. But switching branches, depending on the branch, could actually come at cost to yourself. Because if you're an E5 in the Army, right, and you want to switch to the Marine Corps, you're not an E5 in the Marine Corps when you switch.
What are you?
You're going back to boot camp. Because the Marine Corps doesn't care about your prior Army.
Is there any situation where that doesn't happen?
Well, if you're in the Marine Corps and you go over to the Army will most of the time give you a lateral transfer over. But like, if you want,
go from like, what if you go from like the Navy to the Air Force?
you'd probably be more likely to get a lateral transfer. Maybe that a lot of that comes down to what the Air Force needs and what billets they have. If they don't have room, if you're an E5 and they don't have room for another E5, you're not going to be an E5. You'll be an E4 or an E3. And you'll have to earn your way back up again.
There's no chance in hell that they'd go, oh, we don't have room for an E5, so you're getting a promotion.
No, that's never going to happen. Like, if you're crossing over from the Marines to the Army, like, they might give you an enlistment bonus Or if you're crossing over from one thing to another, or like you'd been out for a couple of months and you get back in and then you're joining that other thing, like they might give you an enlistment bonus or some other bullshit like that. You might not have to go back to boot camp. The Marines, I guarantee you'll have to go back to boot camp. Every other branch, it's hit or miss.
Gotcha.
They might still want to send you to like some school so that you'll know how to do what they want you to do. But the Marine Corps doesn't see anybody else's training regimen as good enough. So, so you usually because of different things like that and all the unknowns that go into it, usually you end up staying where you're at. Occasionally there will come up opportunities for you to cross transfer to another branch and not lose anything. And I have seen those opportunities come up where they're like, yeah, you're an E5 aviation bosun's mate. The Army needs aircraft people. You can switch over and you'll keep your rank and you'll get like some kind of bonus or whatever.
Right.
But you don't dictate terms when it comes to that. Like, you kind of put in what you hope you're going to do and they pretty much tell you what you're going to get.
Gotcha.
Like when I was in A school, for example, they gave us a dream sheet. Where they have like all the different places you can go. Kind of like,
I already know what you're talking about. Where it's like, yeah, then you like number them off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the order of which ones you'd like the most.
Yep, and then they will make sure to not send you to that place.
Yep.
Because I put California somewhere at the fucking bottom. And I put Japan like right above that. And then they were originally going to send me to Japan.
Oof.
I didn't want to go to Japan. I mean, looking back, I should have went. But I was concerned that I wasn't going to be able to like fucking move Alter over there with me.
Oh.
And I didn't want to leave her high and dry because we were homeless together.
Yeah.
So I traded my orders with somebody else who would have rather went to Japan, and that's how I ended up in California.
Fun. Well, I hate to do it, but I gotta get to bed.
You don't have to be up in the morning.
Actually, I kind of actually do. Just not as early.
Oh.
Like,
Damn.
I still have to be... I have to be up at, like... I only gotta be up at, like, fucking 7 or 8.
Here I was hoping to hit that 4-hour mark. Oh, well. Fuck it.
Well, what are we at?
Fucking 3:42. But that's fine. You can go to bed. I can fucking... When I get to the point that I'm uploading episodes, I can edit some shit in here and post.
Fair enough.
I'll have to edit some shit out anyways, so...
But
I will see you around, man.
Yeah, it was nice to do this, man. It's been a while.
Oh, yeah. Only one person tuned in, but oh well.
Yeah, fuck it.
It was the one person that like should have tuned in, so I'm good.
Who was it?
Gutierrez. So as long as he tunes in, I'm happy.
Right. But yeah, no, like, yeah, it's been a while, man. Fucking, it was nice to come in here and just kind of chill and talk.
Yeah, you should go back and watch the first hour when you get a chance.
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow when I'm fucking watching our dogs.
Yeah, fucking 2.0 had a pretty interesting and gruesome story that you came in at the tail end of.
I mean, them pictures look pretty fucking gnarly.
My dick is still shriveled up.
That bad?
That bad, yeah. Just wait till you hear that shit. Then let me know.
So, my days off are on Sunday.
Okay.
Fucking just for future reference, if you wanted to get some gaming in with me, Saturday nights and Sundays, obviously, because once I get home on Saturday, I don't give a fuck about how late I stay up, because if I got the day off tomorrow, the next day, it doesn't matter.
Right on.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
me and Taco and 2.0 have all come to an agreement that when the Diablo remaster comes out, we're all going to play it together. So,
Oh, okay.
you'll be free to join us if you want. That'll be contingent on getting the game, but yeah.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, if I got the money, how much is it?
I don't know.
Is it a $60 game?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
Could be.
I'm sure I'll have the money for it,
I can't imagine it could be much more than that.
Well, it depends. It depends. Was it like? Is it just is it just Diablo 1, or is it like all of the Diablos being which Diablo is being remastered?
2.
Okay.
But okay, so here's the article on it. This is from Polygon. It will cost, and then it scrolled it away. It will cost, the Diablo 2 Resurrected will cost $39.99, but you can buy the Primeval collection, which will cost $59.99, which will include the Diablo Resurrected. It will also include the Diablo 3 Eternal collection and some cosmetics for Diablo 3. So, you could just get away with the $40 one, but...
Yeah, no, fuck that, dude. For $60, fucking 2 games for $60, like, dude.
Yeah, you
literally can't go wrong with that.
You just as well get the bougie one, even if you don't play it, because you might later on down the line.
Oh yeah, no, and I like Diablo. I've always liked Diablo.
I've never played 3, so
Oh,
I might.
Really?
I've never played it. I partly haven't played it at a protest because I remember for like 13 years straight being told Diablo 3, Diablo 3, Diablo 3, and then it never coming out. And then about halfway through those 13 years, I stopped giving a shit about it. And then after about the 10-year mark, I'm like, you know what? Fuck these people. So yeah, I've never played it.
Yeah, no, dude. Diablo 3 was fun as shit. I loved playing as the witch doctor.
I probably should though, because I'm probably depriving myself of something that I would really like.
Oh yeah, you'd love it, dude.
You know,
Yeah,
I
liked playing as the witch doctor, and then I liked playing as the I forget what the actual class is called, but it's basically just the witch, the witches and the wizards.
I kind of did that with fucking Red Dead, because I didn't want to make an Epic account. Here I am with an Epic account.
What?
Well, I was saying that, like, kind of depriving myself because of protesting something that a fucking game developer did that I didn't agree with.
Oh, and then buying fucking...
Yeah, I waited for Red Dead to come out on Steam, and fucking, it's right now, it's like in my top 5 when it comes to games.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a good-ass game.
I love that game.
It's a good-ass game.
Like, I've gotten hooked on that game whenever I do sit down and play it. I think I've got like 200 hours on it now. And
I couldn't tell you how many hours I've got on it.
well, playing games as sparsely as I've been able to lately. Yeah, 248 hours. Playing games as sparsely lately as I've been able to, that is significant.
You know what game I was gonna buy? Or at least I was thinking about buying.
What? And
Because I haven't played.
can you get a little closer to the mic, please?
Sorry. The game I was thinking about buying was Elder Scrolls Morrowind, because I had never played it.
That's a good game. Although I like that game for different reasons than a lot of the other people like it.
Well, the reason I was thinking about buying it is, first of all, it's only $4.50 right now, $4.50.
Yeah,
You know, I'm like,
that's a good enough reason.
like that alone. Yeah, that's a good enough reason. alone.
I will warn you, the graphics haven't aged very well.
Yeah, I know. It is from 2009.
And there's no voice acting.
Oh.
It's pre-2009. Oblivion was 2009.
Oh, well, maybe this was just this was just released on 2009.
Yeah, fucking
This
Morrowind.
is 2002.
Yeah, the cool thing about Morrowind though, that's kind of fun, is you can find like cheesy ass ways to glitch the combat system and have like hilarious results.
You know, honestly, what I was really thinking about doing was just buying the summer bundle, because it comes with Morrowind Game of the Year Edition, Oblivion Game of the Year Edition, which, by the way, I should point out, I have never done a full playthrough of Oblivion.
That game is fucking amazing. You're depriving yourself.
I have never done a full playthrough. I get about, like, usually I end up getting to about, like, the second Oblivion gate, and I just give up. For some reason, like, I always end up moving on from it.
The main storyline of Oblivion is really not where it shines. It honestly, the side shit is where it really fucking pops off the most.
Okay.
That being said, I do recommend completing the storyline because it's cool.
Well, I don't own it. That's like my whole thing is I don't own it.
Okay, then get the summer bundle. I'm thinking about getting into the Elder Scrolls Online and trying that out soon.
I mean, now would be a good time considering it's 60% off.
No, I have it. I paid like $2 for it during a summer sale like 2.5 years ago.
But yeah, so this one comes with Morrowind, Oblivion Game of the Year Deluxe, I should say, and it comes with Skyrim.
Oblivion. There's another thing that you have to do in Oblivion to get like the bougie experience.
I'm just gonna fucking
buy it. Buy it.
I'm doing it.
No balls. You won't do it. No balls.
I'm doing it. Literally gonna do it right now. Bought.
Make sure that you have played the Shivering Isles. If you don't do anything else, make sure that you have played the Shivering Isles. That's like my favorite fucking part of Oblivion.
Okay.
Like,
well, I think what I'm gonna probably do is I'm probably gonna do Morrowind first, and then I'm gonna do Oblivion.
Okay. However you do it, just make sure that you do not put down Oblivion without having played the Shivering Isles.
You know what? I can promise you that.
You'll love it.
Wow, Morrowind's a fucking small game.
If you want, like, from a loot perspective, like in Oblivion, it all like you don't usually have to worry about what level you are. But if you go into the Shivering Isles past the level of 30, like you'll start, like your gear that you get will have higher stats.
Okay.
And there is one sword that you're going to want to pick up. You get it really early on, and it is leveled to you. So the higher the level you are when you go in there.
Frostbane?
Yes. Or no,
Yeah.
the Dawn whatever brand.
Dawnbreaker?
Yeah, it's a sword. It like changes when the time of day changes.
Okay.
So
I thought you were
It will be like Dawnbreaker
You
and
get that.
Dustbreaker or something like that.
Yeah, no, I thought you were talking about Frostbane, which is like a sword that does ice damage. It's
And-
like a glass sword, I think.
Yeah, forget that sword. Although that sword is good. And that sword is also scaled to your level. No, the one I'm talking about is a magical sword that let me look it up real quick. Dawnfang. So basically it's like a unique sword that it scales to your level when like the level you were when you picked it up. So you know how magical items, you've played Oblivion at least some, right?
Yeah, like I said, usually I got about to like the second gate before I just ended up moving on for whatever reason.
So you know how magical items have a charge?
Yeah.
And then you have to like recharge them with soul stones or whatever?
Yeah, you mean like you do in Skyrim?
Yeah. Well, this one you don't have to recharge. Like it transforms into another sword. So like you got Dawnfang out, right? And you've depleted all of its magical charge. I think it does like fire damage.
Uh-huh.
That sword is going to transform into Duskfang. And its charge will be recharged.
Oh, neat.
And it will have ice damage.
Oh, cool. So it's like a yin yang thing.
Yeah, it's a really cool sword. But it scales to your level. So if you're beyond level 30, it will do has 47 weight, 825 durability, I think. Fucking it has a really high fucking charge. Does 25 points of regular damage, 15 points of fire or frost damage, and it will absorb health or magicka. It will absorb 7 points of health or magicka from your enemy when you hit them.
Oh, good shit.
So,
Okay, yeah, I do gotta go to bed though, dude.
all right. Well, it's nice,
so, yeah,
nice doing this. I will see you on the next one.
for sure.
Take
I'll
it
let
easy.
you know how my fucking playthrough of Morrowind goes.
Yeah, let me know. Although I'm more interested in your playthrough of fucking the Shivering Isles.
All right, later, man.
Later, dude. All right, well, that brings an end to this week's Kekfest. Man, I could drag it on for another 3 minutes and hit that 4-hour mark, but I'm not going to do that. I will see y'all on the next one. Until then, peace out.